Yeah, RJ last season shut out DJ Newman's Archbold Blue Streaks 1-0. A game that kept Archbold from getting the NWL championship.
And the 1-1 offering from Shunk is a check swing and a ball, 2-1 the count. 2 out for the Falcons here in the top of the first.
That was quite a high school pitchers duel between DJ Newman and RJ Shunk.
And it's spilled over to the college ranks now. And the 2-1 offering from the lefty. Low and inside, evens the count at 2 balls, makes it 3-1. My apologies.
Yeah, great hold by Kyle Gurney. That's what makes him such a special hitter. You know, the guy up there wants to be swinging the bat. He's got a hitter's count. One of those pitches that's just off the plate, he has the discipline to hold.
And the 3-1 offering is high, and catcher Kyle Gurney is going to trot down to first base for Gurney. His 37th walk of the year, and that'll give way to the cleanup hitter, number 18, first baseman Tyler Ross.
Yeah, great job by Gurney, just trying to find a way to extend innings. And, Bowling Green, as we've seen over the course of this season, very opportunistic of taking advantage of 2-out walks. And if you leave the door open a crack, they can sometimes hurt you.
2 out with a runner on first, and the first pitch over for a strike. Ross on the year hitting .264, making his 46th start, 39 hits. Does have some long ball capabilities. 3 home runs, 24 RBIs on the year. With a man on and 2 out. And the 0-1 offering. High and outside. 1-1 the count.
And Ross looking for his 5th hit against Toledo on the season. He was 4 for 8 coming into this afternoon, but he was held hitless here in Game 1, going 0 for 4 with a strikeout and sacrifice fly.
And here's the 1-1 pitch, and this is roped to left field. But shading foul and corralled into the nets, and 1-2 will now be the count.
Yeah, good looking swing that time from Ross. So that time he just turned on that baseball, was able to barrel it up, but a little bit too far out in front for the senior.
Bowling Green can keep this inning alive. Nathan Archer on deck. And the 1-2 offering from R.J. Shunk is outside, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men out, 1 man on for Bowling Green. A win for Toledo would secure a 500 season in Mid-American Conference play. A win for Bowling Green would give them 20 on the year. Of course, this is the regular season finale for both programs. Here's the 2-2 pitch from R.J. Shunk. It is outside and high, and now a full count.
Yeah, great hold by Ross, and now Cal Kearney will get a head start there off of first base with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. And you're right, Jim. Bowling Green trying to become the 9th MAC team to win 20-plus games this season, but they're running out of time as they have to come up big in this season final.
And the payoff pitch hits Tyler Ross. And Ross is going to advance down to first base. Kyle Gurney will move into second, and with 2 out, Bowling Green has the game's first runner in scoring position, and that'll give way to Nathan Archer.
And Archer comes in swinging a red-hot bat, but you're going to see this fastball just kind of tail away. If you're going to wear one, that's probably as good a place as any, taking it off the bicep. But right now, Archer, who is 3 for 4 in today's opener, steps to the plate, trying to draw first blood here for the Falcons and trying to get to R.J. Shunk early.
And the LaGrange, Ohio native, hitting .281 on the year. Again, had a very productive game in the opener of this doubleheader. First offering from Shunk is high and inside. 1-0 the count. R.J. Shunk struck out his first 2 batters in Newman and Seidel. But Gurney gets aboard. Ross gets aboard on a hit by pitch, and Archer steps away from the batter's box, and we're going to have a conference on the mound with R.J. Shunk.
Yeah, that's a good visit by second-year pitching coach John Sheehan. I think it's important here. You're a freshman here. You got a big venue here at Fifth Third Field. You got a great crowd. You don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball. Go out there, relax, trust your stuff. And what a great job Coach Sheehan's done for the Rockets. Last year in his first season, he helped lower that ERA by nearly 1.5 from the prior season. He's also helped lead the Rockets to a 15% reduction in walks, also a 25% reduction in home runs given up. So a lot of good things happening for Toledo. We know they've got a lot of great young arms.
Indeed.
And this is certainly one of them here. They want to try to maybe get him to go out on a shot of confidence here this afternoon.
And the 1-0 offering is high and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And again, without really the services of their ace, Noah Johnson down the home stretch, really hampered Toledo this year. No question about it. And with 2 on and 2 out, R.J. Shunk kicks and fires, and this one is outside, 3 balls and no strikes. So after getting the first 2 batters out, Shunk's run into a little bit of a jam here on the visitors' half of the first inning.
And credit Bowling Green for that. Talking with Bowling Green head coach Kyle Halleck before the game, he mentioned the approach against a guy like Shunk is going to be, we need to be patient. We don't need to swing at the first strike we see. We need to make sure we're forcing him to throw the ball across the plate. They've done a good job of that thus far. And that's going to be the second walk, 3rd consecutive freebie after 2 consecutive outs by R.J. Shunk.
So with 2 out, Nathan Rose, the third baseman, who hit a 3-run home run in the first inning of Game 1 to really get the party started for Bowling Green this afternoon, has almost a similar opportunity with 2 men out and the bases loaded in the top of the first.
What could be better than a 3-run homer to start things out in the first inning? Possibly a grand slam here in the second game here, as we'll have an opportunity. There's going to be a fastball upstairs there by Shunk, so quickly Shunk is falling behind the dangerous Nathan Rose, 1-0. If you're Rose, you're not looking just for any strike. You're sitting dead red looking for a fastball in your wheel well.
Archer on third, Ross on second, Gurney on first. And that 1-0 offering misses the mark, 2-0 the count. Nathan Rose, a native of Shaker Heights, Ohio, just outside Cleveland. A great prep career at Shaker Heights High School. Lefty against righty, 2 balls, no strikes. Bowling Green trying to get busy here on the top of the first. Shunk kicks and fires, and he's behind 3-0 now to Nathan Rose with the MAC Player of the Week, Adam Fallon, on deck.
A great hold by Rose. I think he was taken all the way. Just the fact that you've got a chance to get an RBI here without swinging the bat. So 3-0 here, probably taken all the way.
Shunk kicks and fires. It's high and outside, and on 4 pitches now, R.J. Shunk has walked home the first run of the game, and Bowling Green strikes first, much like they did in the opener.
Now, we talked about it. If you open the door a crack for Bowling Green, they're so opportunistic. And after 2 quick punch-outs to the dangerous DJ Newman and Sam Seidel, Bowling Green now, after 3 walks and a hit batsman, have scored the game's first run without putting a ball in play.
And Adam Fallon was 1 of 4 in the opening game of this series, which PG lost 19-7, but that really doesn't tell the story. The young man is 10 of his last 14, hit .779 in the series against Northern Illinois last weekend, and he'd love to continue the hot numbers right now, digging in against Shunk. And the first opportunity is inside for a ball.
We saw Fallon go 3 for 4 at Scott Park just 2 days ago, and that 4-0 Bowling Green shutout over the Rockets. And there's another really close pitch there just off the edge, but again, very disciplined approach here by the Falcons, forcing Shunk to throw across the plate, and once again, Shunk falls behind 2-0.
And unfortunately, that is 10 straight balls for RJ. Adam Fallon out of Columbus, Ohio, suburb of Powell to be specific, played at Bishop Watterson High School. And that 2-0 offering is inside, and it is 3 balls and no strikes.
Right now, no secrets here. You got a guy hitting just 247, even though he's swinging a red-hot bat. Certainly taken all the way here, trying to force Shunk to throw the plate. But again, I like the approach here from Kyle Halleck's squad here this afternoon.
Here's the 3-0 offering, and that one does paint the outside corner for a strike.
Right now, Fallon just sitting dead red. He's looking for a fastball in his nitro zone. If he gets it, he's certainly going to be swinging away. If not, you can take it, force Shunk to go full count.
Here's the 3-1 offering, and it is in there for a strike, and now the count is full.
Great pitch by Shunk. That time a fastball that paints the black on the inside corner, but a great hold there by Adam Fallon. And now all three Falcon runners will be in motion here. Huge pitch coming up here.
Payoff pitch from R.J. Shunk is smacked foul down the first base side. We'll do it again.
Great job by Fallon. You know, something, when you're swinging a hot bat like he is, that's one of the things that's part of that, you know, fighting off some tough two-strike pitches to force maybe Shunk to make a mistake, throw across the plate. That time a pretty good-looking 3-2 pitch by the freshman Shunk. But a great job by Fallon just falling that off.
And the payoff pitch again from R.J. Shunk. The 3-2 offering is driven deep to left field, playable. And the left fielder for the Midnight Blue and Gold, and Caden Konzak comes up with a big catch and a huge out for Toledo, but Bowling Green draws first blood as they walk in the game's first run. Bottom of the first coming up from Fifth Third Field in downtown Toledo. Bowling Green 1, Toledo nothing. This is Mac Baseball on BCSN.
That's Tom Fernelli. That's Danny Cannell. I'm Chip Patterson. Week 1 Locks is finally here, and we are doing it live, as we will every single Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, youtube.com/cover3. If you are tuned in, I'm looking at you, Andrew. I'm looking at you, Brandon. I'm looking at you, other Brandon. Looking at you, Eddie. Looking at you, Ryan. Jump in the comments. Let us know what you think.
When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair, you're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
So hold me when I'm here, ride me when I'm wrong. Oh, he's offline. What the what? He doesn't want Kelsey to know he's on, even though she's covered,
Lefty Rigo Ramos on the hill today for Bowling Green. 2-3 on the year, 5.62 ERA. Surrounding him defensively goes a little something like this. Tyler Ross at first base. Sam Seidel at second. Mason Montgomery at short. Over third base, Nathan Rose. The outfield going left to right. Adam Fallon in left. Center fielder Nathan Archer. In right field, Justin Fugit. And Jaron Williams, who hit 3 home runs in the opener of this series, digs in against Ramos. A couple of Archbold High School grads going toe-to-toe here, and that has to bring a big smile to Scoop Miller. Williams, in the meantime, drills a first pitch, but playable in center field near the warning track, and underneath it is Nathan Archer, and there's one away. And, of course, Scoop, you coached at Archbold for a few weeks, to say the least, and you got to be beaming with pride to see 2 alums going head-to-head here.
Well, just 2 quality young men out there who have had fantastic seasons and careers, respectively, for both these teams. And Ramos coming off of Tommy John surgery, so just nice to see him out there in the bump whatsoever. He's had limited time this year for the Falcons, but certainly a guy with a lethal arm. You know, with his arm slot, you know, being 6'5", 6'6", yes, he's got a kind of a funny release point, makes it awfully tough to barrel him up. We saw that a couple years ago at Scott Park, where he completely stymied Toledo at the end of the season.
Well, he's behind 2-0. Caden Konzak, who homered in the first of this doubleheader, and he looks at one in the dirt, and Konzak now ahead 3 balls and no strikes. And Caden had a monster opener today, 4 for 5 with 4 hits, 4 RBIs, and drew a walk. And the 3-0 offering will issue Caden Konzak a walk down to first base, and for young Mr. Konzak, that is his 33rd walk of the year.
A great job by Konzak. And again, he learned a lot in that top of the first inning where you saw the strike zone. Not an expanded strike zone whatsoever, very small zone. So great job of taking advantage, not swinging at some of those marginal pitches on either edge. And he's able to get the first runner on base here for Toledo.
Garrett Pike, who homered twice in the opener between these two, looks at a first pitch strike from Rigo Ramos. And we've talked about this, that the Rockets have had their struggles this year against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, right now the Rockets just 4-9 on the season against left-handed starting pitching. And Ramos would like to add another L to that total for Toledo. But again, with his arm slot, he's very difficult to pick up, especially in a kind of a twilight situation that we're seeing right now. If you're Ramos, you need to take advantage and control the count. Try to get a lot of first pitch strikes. Try to get Toledo hitters into negative counts.
Caden Konzak on first, and the 1-1 offering. Just misses the mark, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bowling Green walked in a run in the visitors' half of the first inning, and they have a 1-0 lead. They jumped on Toledo in the top of the first in the first game of this twin bill here at Fifth Third. Ramos checks the runner. Here's the 2-1 offering, and this one is clubbed foul over the third base side, and a souvenir here at Fifth Third.
Yeah, that's the perfect pitch for Rigo Ramos against a guy like Garrett Pike. Pike, awfully dangerous, so much power hitting from the left side, but Ramos has a lot of glove side run to that fastball. Makes it tough to square up for the lefty Pike.
Ramos kicks and fires the 2-2 offering again. Clubbed foul down the third base line and out of play. And we'll do it again. In case you're wondering, Caden Konzak, certainly a moderate threat to steal. He has 4 stolen bases in 9 attempts on the year. Boy, Garrett Pike had a heck of an opener. 2 home runs, number 14 and 15 on the year. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Pike now with 54 RBIs on the season.
Just incredible numbers he continues to put up. That's why you have to be awfully careful to the dangerous lefty here in this scenario.
Ramos going to fire over to his first baseman, Tyler Ross, to keep Konzak at bay. Ross and Konzak share a few words.
Yeah, you think Ramos would want to try to maybe stay downstairs here to Pike.
Here's the 2-2 offering from the lefty, and it's high and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out for Toledo. Rockets trying to even the score. Rockets at 25 and 28 on the year. Bowling Green at 19 and 29. Ramos quickly with a fire over to Ross, and tagged out is Caden Konzak. Boy, oh boy, the deceptive speed of the long, lanky lefty on the hill from Archbold.
Tremendous job there by Ramos. Konzak just 3 for 8 on steals on the season. I'm not sure if he was going or not, but it's a huge mistake there by the sophomore Konzak. What a tremendous move by Ramos.
And the payoff pitch to Garrett Pike is a bit low, and Mr. Pike will trot down to first base.
Boy, how huge is that pickoff now? But again, you don't have to cave into a guy like Pike when you've got a runner on first base picked off. So even though it's another walk by Ramos, probably not bad. The Pike has that long ball power. In fact, Pike just 1 home run away from tying the all-time single-season home run mark of 16 for Toledo. But now you have another home run threat in Mason Sykes.
Here's the pitch. Pike is going to slide in head first to second base with his 12th steal of the year in 15 attempts. And Toledo has a runner in scoring position with 2 men out.
Well, that's the thing about Garrett Pike. Everybody talks about how he was second-team All-MAC as a freshman. He got a tremendous jump right there. But again, he's just a smart, high IQ baseball player. He runs the bases so well. He does have good speed, but the fact he's an intelligent runner makes him a threat out there all the time.
The 1-0 offering to first baseman Mason Sykes is a strike, evens the count at 1 apiece.
And Sykes, just like Pike, sitting at 15 home runs on the season, just a home run away from tying the mark that he actually set last year as a junior at 16.
Toledo with 5 starters with 10 home runs or more. They've hit almost 100 on the season. Ramos kicks and fires. Check swing by Sykes. Coming out to pounce on that baseball rather quickly is Kyle Gurdy. The count is now 2-1.
Remember, after that home run the first game from Konzak, they now have 5 different players with 11 or more home runs. But again, they've showed a long ball power leading the MAC in home runs at 96 on the season.
The 2-1 offering from Rigo Ramos is drilled to left field, but this one's floating foul as it heads towards Monroe Street.
Well, that's a quality pitch there from Ramos. That one was clearly a high fastball trying to get Sykes to chase. Again, talking with Coach Kyle Halleck before the game, that's something that's going to be a part of their arsenal here this afternoon, trying to get Toledo to chase up in the zone, particularly when the count gets in their favor at 2 strikes.
Ramos 6'5", just a shade over 200 pounds. The 2-2 offering is slapped for a base hit into left field. Tying run's going to step across home plate. That in the form of Garrett Pike, and this game is tied at 1.
Yeah, credit Toledo. They were not able to let Bowling Green get that shutdown inning that the Falcons wanted. They take advantage of the 2-out walk to Pike. And a huge base hit by Mason Sykes, something he's done so well over the course of his career for Toledo. Drives in another big run there for the Rockets to even things out here.
Mason Sykes' 44th RBI of the game has tied this game at 1. Ramos digs in against Braden White, and White pops up the first pitch. And sliding over from first base is Tyler Ross to make the catch. We will head to the top of the second inning here at the Fraction. Fifth Third Field in downtown Toledo in this nightcap of the Battle of I-75. Toledo and Bowling Green tied at 1. You are watching BCSN.
Chuckleheads back there. But what's this guy? This guy's on the 5th place team. We're out. Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought he was for a second. Alright, we're good. We're good. These chuckleheads are not finishing. Yep. Strap on. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's like movie Psycho, like the real.
Top of the second from Fifth Third Field. Bowling Green and Toledo tied at 1. RJ Shunk, after striking out his first 2 batters, ended up walking 3. And Bowling Green gets their first run of the game without a hit. But during break, Scoop and I talking with the great voice of the Toledo Mudhens, Jim Weber, saying one of the big problems in these twilight games is the setting of the sun. And before it gets behind Fifth Third Field, that it can mess with the pitchers. And that very well might have been a problem for RJ in this first inning.
Well, if you've listened to Jim Weber over the years, as most of us have, he's mentioned that more than a few times on occasion, the fact that does play havoc. But right now the sun has kind of dropped below the rooftop. And it is, he's no longer looking into that sun. So we'll see if R.J. Shunk can come out here and maybe establish the strike zone early here and use that powerful fastball to his success.
And he digs in against shortstop Mason Montgomery. And that first offering is a strike. Our umpiring crew, Mike Martin behind home plate. Mark Hanwald at first. Marvin King moves over to third. And Shunk kicks and fires again to Montgomery, and Montgomery has to get out of the way of that one. 1-1 the count. And Mr. Montgomery in the first game, 1 for 3. Walked. And scored a run in the 19-7 loss. And the evergreen product in R.J. Shunk's 1-1 delivery is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Again, the dimensions, 341 deep right field, 320 in left field, 406 dead center, 402 in the alleys. Left center and right center here at Fifth Third Field. And the 2-1 offering is clubbed in towards center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Fell in very, very nicely between Jaron Williams and Scott Mankiewicz, and sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, and Mason Montgomery is aboard with a high base hit.
Yeah, that was dropped in the perfect spot. It's hard to drop a ball between Jaron Williams, who has lightning speed, and Scott Mankiewicz, who maybe covers more ground out there in center field than anybody else out in the MAC. And that time it was placed perfectly. Something that probably hasn't gone Montgomery's way very often this season. He came in hitting just 0.98, but comes up with a nice hit here to lead things off the second inning.
It's Bowling Green's first hit of this nightcap. The number 9 hitter for BG, Justin Fugit, the right fielder, looks at a first pitch strike. BG with a man on in the second. Game tied at 1. Shunk kicks and fires, and Fugit looks at a second pitch strike, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
Great job by Shunk, and once again, right on cue, Toledo will go into that 2-strike shift for left-handed hitters.
And Fugit burned him in game 1 with a hit to opposite field. But Toledo going to take their chances. Here's the 0-2 offering, and it is outside for a ball, 1-2 the count.
That's a nice competitive pitch, just a couple inches off the black there, trying to nip that outside corner. Again, kind of surprised when you put the shift on that you're still pitching away, allowing a guy like Fugit to go the opposite way.
Daring him to go to left field. Runner goes, and here is a pop-up into foul territory. Braden White giving chase, and he's going to see that that's going to be a souvenir. So count remains 1-2, and we'll do it again. Rockets again going with the Midnight Blues in this nightcap. Bowling Green staying with traveling grays, the burnt seal brown numerals, and orange trim.
Which I never thought there was, because we did plenty of crumble.
And as Scoop Miller had mentioned, this is the 237th meeting between these longtime foes. Here is the 1-2 offering, and it is clubbed foul down the third base side. Toledo 1 and Bowling Green 1. We're in the top of the second of this doubleheader. Season ender for both teams. So unfortunately, neither one of them qualified for the MAC tournament this year, which will begin on the 24th at Kent State. And the 1-2 offering is outside. He gets the count at 2 apiece.
That's a great pitch once again, trying to paint that outside corner, but here you have to be careful. You don't want to mess around too much with the number 9 hitter with DJ Newman on deck.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Lefty R.J. Shunk kicks in against lefty Justin Fugit. Swing and a miss. May have got just a slight sliver of that baseball to keep the at-bat alive. If he got it, it wasn't much. Fugit will stay in there. The count 2-2.
I mean, I don't even like this job at all. No, listen, I'm thankful for it.
Runner on first and Mason Montgomery. Here's the 2-2 offering, and it is clubbed foul towards the BG dugout. We'll do it again.
You're just sitting there in that office, and again, great.
Nobody out in the visitors' half of the second. Bowling Green and Toledo meeting for the last time this year. They've played 3 times. Toledo's 1-2. Bowling Green won on Thursday at Scott Park.
I think if I could go back in time.
And lefty R.J. Shunk checks the runner momentarily. Kicks and fires. The 2-2 offering is swung on in the dirt. And the young man is going to be called out, and the first strikeout of the inning for R.J. Shunk, his 3rd of the evening.
That's a big one there for Shunk, and Fugit really not happy with himself. That time he chased a pitch that looked like it was going to be out of the zone. You're going to see it downstairs there, but again, a nice-looking bender. And again, when you're expecting fastball 95% of the time, when he mixes in that deuce, it can certainly be tough to hold up on.
Back to the top of the order, and DJ Newman, who struck out his first time up. With one man down, Shunk kicks and fires, and this one is roped beyond Dante DiCello, and it's going to trickle into left field, and Bowling Green's got something cooking with runners on first and second and one man out in the visitors' half of the second.
Well, Newman once again comes out, gets a pitch that he likes, and it just eats up Dante DiCello there at third base. That'll go down as a base hit, the second of the inning for the Falcons, and once again, they've got something cooking here with a couple runners on, and Sam Seidel stepping to the plate.
And Seidel struck out his first time up as well, as RJ Shunk started this game a house of fire. Runners on first and second with one man out. Shunk kicks and fires to Seidel, and the first opportunity is a ball low with the knees. 1-0 the count. Of course, Dante DiCello starting at third, in place of Troy Sudbrook today. Shunk kicks and fires. The 1-0 offering finds the mark there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Seidel 1 for 4 in today's opener with a run scored.
And RJ Shunk closed it in on 50 pitches in a hurry. Runners on first and second with one out. Here's the 1-1 offering. It is low and in the dirt. Braden White pounces on that rather quickly. 2-1 the count.
And again, this very patient approach by the Falcons, forcing the high pitch count. And again, I think that's good math. The fact that Shunk does not have great numbers as far as strikeouts, walks per innings pitched. And the fact that Toledo has already spent a lot of their bullpen here in the first two games of this series.
And we have a time called on the field. Home plate umpire Mike Martin.
10 hours a week if you wanted to, and just pay the bills and do whatever else you want.
Seidel out of Greenwich, Ohio. Came into this nightcap hitting .262. Has long ball range. He's gone yards 6 times this year. 19 RBIs to his credit as well. Had a solid season. Just a freshman. And the 2-1 offering runner goes. White with a relay over to DiCello, not in time, and both runners will advance. And now Bowling Green with one out has 2 runners in scoring position.
Wow, what a tremendous jump that time off of second base by Mason Montgomery. I thought the smart play would be to throw to second there. You know, a lot of times that trail runner has to wait to know for sure if the lead runner's going, and the fact that Montgomery has such great wheels.
That's only the second base, stolen base in the year for Mason Montgomery. Here's the 3-1 offering. It's a ball, and Bowling Green has the bases loaded. With the number 3 hitter, Kyle Gertie, coming to the plate.
And that may have been the last pitch by the freshman RJ Shunk, as here we're going to see a visit from head coach Rob Reinstedel, and he is going to make a motion down to the bullpen.
Well, in the top of the second, Toledo is going to change things up just a little bit. A pitching change. Bowling Green and Toledo tied at 1. From Fifth Third Field, this is Mac Baseball on BCSN.
See what ending it is. Yeah, I just went around. Oh, the mates are in the it's kind of a tough finish. It looks. The mates are fucking with me. No, I got flim. Yeah, see it ever. Caught the little fucking corner of the thing. When they ball, when they took the finale, they ever want to let us play that game again. And great.
Broadcast is presented by Bowling Green State University, a public university for the public good. Visit bgsu.edu to learn more.
Change for the midnight blue and gold. 6'4", 185-pound freshman right-hander Nathan Leininger, native of Powell, Ohio, in Delaware County. And to beleaguer a point that you and I have hammered home multiple times this afternoon, boy, how many players in this game hail out of the Olentangy School District?
There's a reason they're recruiting that area heavily. The fact there's so many solid players, so many solid programs down in that neck of the woods. Right now, Nathan Leininger being called upon out of the bullpen. Leininger pitched against the Falcons Thursday in relief, where he was able to pitch 2 innings, gave up just 2 hits, did give up 1 earned run, had a couple strikeouts, did not allow a walk. But right now, he's brought into a tough situation here with just 1 out, the bases full of Falcons.
Montgomery on third, Newman on second, Seidel on first. 1 man out, and the young freshman Nathan Leininger has to be called upon in a jam facing the dangerous Kyle Gurney.
Yeah, this is exactly who Bowling Green wants up in this scenario. Gurney again,
the right guy at the plate now.
Second team All-MAC last year, leads the Falcons in hits, runs, walks. Been a tough out all season long. His on-base percentage just north of .435, so he's been a tough out. And those numbers, I think, are even higher against Toledo, Jim.
Well,
right now, Leininger has to somehow make some quality pitches to the senior Kyle Gurney.
Gurney, 5 home runs, 28 RBIs, looks at a second pitch strike, evens the count at 1-1. Just 1 out for the Falcons, and the base is loaded. Bowling Green left 6 runners on base in that first game, a 19-7 loss. Leininger's 1-1 offering is clubbed foul, 1-2 the count.
A tremendous pitch that time by Leininger. You know, 1-1 pitch is always the most important pitch in baseball. You either get ahead in the count as a pitcher or you get into a hitting count for the hitter. And that time, a quality two-seamer there right on the outside edge.
Gurney was 2 for 4 in the first game. And here's one that is looped into left center field, and it's going to drop for a base hit, and that is going to drive in the second run of the game. It's Montgomery will come across the bag, and Bowling Green has wrestled the lead back at 2-1. Boy, a couple of rainmaker singles for Bowling Green in this game.
Well, that's what respect will do. The fact that, with Gurney's power, his history over the seasons against Toledo, that time the Rockets were playing a little bit deep, and that ball just a little flare, but contact goes a long way, but just no chance to come up with that baseball. So really the second C&I single out there, the first one by Montgomery to start things out, and Bowling Green has retaken the lead.
And the first offering to the number 4 hitter, the cleanup man, Tyler Ross, is a ball 1-0. Newman at third, Seidel at second, Gurney at first. Tyler Ross at the plate and just clubs one to left field, and this one's drifting way back, and it's gone. A grand slam home run for Tyler Ross, his 4th of the year. And Bowling Green now has blown this one wide open with a 5-1 lead in the top of the second.
Wow, what a shot off the bat there of Ross. Another no-doubter. Wow, what a rude awakening for Nathan Leininger. But watch this pitch right here. Watch this good-looking swing right there. Again, that's a fastball right down Main Street. And the thing is, Jim, when you get that fastball, you cannot miss it. And credit Bowling Green. Just like we saw in Game 1, they came up firing, and they take an early 6-1 advantage here against Toledo. Remember, we're just 1 out into the second inning.
Middle of the lineup and center fielder Nathan Archer. Sophomore out of LaGrange, Ohio, with a little nubber towards third base. DiCello is underneath it. Wheels over to Sykes, and 2 men are down here in the top of the second. But a grand slam home run off the bat of Tyler Ross, a haymaker. And Bowling Green has opened up a monstrous 6-1 lead on top of Toledo. Now, you and I say monstrous. We've seen 5 and 6 run leads in this league vanish in a hurry.
I've seen double-digit leads vanish in this league multiple times in this season alone.
And the first
There
out.
a fastball there that goes behind Nathan Rose. So you just kind of wonder if that was a Messi's pitch right there or if that one just got away from Leininger. But again, credit to the Falcons. 5 big runs here in this second inning already.
Leininger kicks and fires. Rose with a check swing. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Of course, Rose had Bowling Green's only home run in the first game of this doubleheader. Leininger's 1-1 delivery. High and outside, 2 balls and a strike. BG exploding for 5 here in the visitors' half of the second inning. Newman, Seidel, and Gurney got on board, and Ross did the rest. In the interim, however, Rose with a high fly to center field is corralled by Scott Makowitz, but BG with plenty of damage. They put up 5 in the top of the second. Bowling Green 6, Toledo 1. Bottom of the second coming from downtown after this. It's Mac Baseball on BCSN.
I don't know if I can remember Laura. Is that the older girl? Yeah, that's not funny. Oh, why is the train? I mean, it's the damn train. Oh, Brad. Extreme Squad big fans. I mean, Macy 130. Stat. And the mate's already out. AKA Twitch.
Well, Rigo Ramos, the native of Archbold, Ohio, finds himself in a rather comfortable position, working with a 5-run lead in the bottom of the second. For the Midnight Blue and Gold, in this order, it will be Cade Root, the designated hitter, Brian Fry, the second baseman, and third baseman Dante DiCillo to try and chip away at this lead.
Well, I tell you what, it seems like it's been forever since Rigo Ramos has been out there on the bump after Bowling Green put up 5 big runs in the top half of this inning. And now Ramos looking for a shutdown inning, something that's been hard for both teams to get all afternoon long.
And youngster Cade Root batting .300 on the year, making his 5th start of the season.
I need to play my 6 shows. So you can listen.
Root looks at a ball on that second pitch, 1-1 the count. Cade out of North Platte, Nebraska, playing in his final home game for the Midnight Blue and Gold. Behind on the count, 1-2 to Rigo Ramos.
Yeah, Root just 20 at-bats on the season, but a couple home runs, a very good on-base percentage, just under .400.
And here is slapped one that's going to go foul down the left field line, and we'll do it again.
Right now, so important for Rigo Ramos to avoid the 3-ball counts. You know, your offense just got you a crooked number there, put up 5 runs. So now attack the zone. Trust that defense. It's been one of the best in the MAC all season.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Ramos, and Root clubs this one foul down the left field line. We'll do it again. 6'4", 200-pound senior, Cade Root. Played at McCook Community College in Nebraska before finding his way to the Glass City. And here's the 2-2 offering to Cade Root. And it's inside, now a full count. First time that Mr. Ramos has faced a full count today.
Yeah, great hold there by Root. That time a pretty good-looking pitch by Ramos, but had a lot of late action to it. Falls out of the zone.
And the payoff pitch, the 3-2 offering, is low and inside, and Cade Root has drawn a base on balls to start the home half of the second inning. And in case you are wondering, that is just the fourth walk that Mr. Root has drawn this year. It will give way to second baseman Brian Fry. Fry 3 for 5 in the opener.
Yeah, he had a big day to start things out for the Rockets. Part of that huge win there in Game 1 to even up this series at 1 game apiece.
A native New Yorker and lefty hitting .272 on the year, and he looks at a first pitch outside from Rigo Ramos. 6 runs, 4 hits for Bowling Green. The big club, a grand slam home run off the bat of Tyler Ross has been the difference. Ramos kicks and fires the 1-0 offering. Just a little inside, 2-0 the count.
In Toledo this season, when they've gotten a leadoff walk, they have scored at least a run in just over 60% of the innings.
Ramos kicks and fires. The 2-0 offering finds the mark there. And you were talking about this. That's just the 25th pitch from Ramos. Ramos gets the signal from his catcher, Kyle Gurney. Quickly wheels over to first baseman Ross. That brings the base runner. And Cade Root back to the bag in a hurry.
Well, part of the reason for that low pitch count is the fact he's able to pick off Caden Consack back in the first inning to really minimize things for Bowling Green.
And the 2-1 offering finds the mark, evens the count at 2-2. As we approach 8 o'clock on this Saturday evening. The season finale for both teams. Root checks the runner, kicks and fires. The 2-2 offering is low and inside, and for the second batter in a row, a full count.
Yeah, once again, Ramos wants to avoid that 3-ball count like the plague, but he finds himself right back in it at 3-2. Huge pitch coming up.
Brian Fry, 2 home runs, 20 RBIs on the year. Here's the payoff pitch from Ramos, and this one is slapped for a base hit into right field, just beyond the grasp of Sam Seidel and Toledo, with runners on first and second with nobody out. And that's going to give way to the bottom of the order and Scotty Makowitz. My apologies. Dante DiCello, the number 8 batter. I'm sorry, sir.
Great at bat once again by the sophomore Brian Fry, who continues to see the baseball. And a great read that time from the senior Cade Root here. That's one of those tough balls, whether you know to get a jump or not. But that time he read it down perfectly. And Toledo has something cooking, trying to prevent Bowling Green from getting that shutdown inning that they so desire.
DiCello hitting .224 on the year. The Hamilton, Ohio native takes a first pitch high and outside, 1-0 the count.
And again, one of those reasons you got to stay on that 3-ball count. Last year, Jim, alone in NCAA baseball, on a 3-ball hitting, 3-ball counts, hitters hit .375 on a season. You're kind of forced to throw it across the plate, so you want to avoid that, control the count.
That's a high number, and that one finds the mark, evens the count at 1 apiece. Toledo with nobody out, 1 runner in scoring position, 2 men on, but Bowling Green with a big 6-1 lead here in the bottom half of the second inning.
I also respect the fact that he was going out in the middle of the battle.
Ramos checks the runner at second 2 times. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And this one is popped foul, but very playable. And in front of the Toledo dugout, the catcher for Bowling Green and Kyle Kearney makes a big stop, and we have 1 away in the bottom of the second.
Wow, what a great pitch by Ramos. He's able to completely saw off DiCello there. And a great play there from Kyle Gurney once again. He was able to get out of his crouch quickly there, found the fencing there on that third base dugout. Boy, that's a big out, not allowing the advancement of either Cade Root or Brian Fry.
Scotty Makowitz hitting .195 on the year with 1 out and 2 on. Lefty against lefty, Ramos kicks and fires. And that first opportunity just misses the mark. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, great hold by Makowitz. You know, he struggled early this season, was in that slump. Part of that slump was the fact that he would chase some of those marginal pitches early in the count. And now he finds himself on top, 1-0.
And the 1-1 offering, a check swing. Did he go around?
Yes, he did. A nice pitch there again by Ramos. A good-looking changeup. And really what people would typically say is a fastball count. But right now, Ramos doing a great job pitching backwards. Huge 1-1 pitch coming up here to Makowitz.
And again, Ramos checks the runner and fires, and that one's low, 2 balls and a strike.
Oh, my God.
Brian Fry Cade Root aboard for the Rockets on base. And the number 9 hitter, Scotty Makowicz, the center fielder, is ahead 2 balls and a strike against the
We need our guys to get there first. Get there.
very capable Rigo Ramos for Bowling Green. Here's the 2-1
I can't
offering.
move. Tell me you
Swung
saw that,
on,
Brad.
a little nubber to
He was
third
just-
base.
we'll go for the
And the
hammer,
throw is
hammer.
going to be to the left of the bag, and that is going to bring home the first Toledo run of the inning. Rockets try to stretch it in for 2, and sliding in is Brian Fry, and over to third base with a triple is Scott Makowicz.
No, that's a swinging bunt in the right spot. Watch it right here. Just kind of off the end of the bat by Mike Makowicz. He's got good speed, and speed causes errors. You know, that time you saw Nathan Rose try to make a desperation play. He probably would have been better off just to arm fake and hold the baseball.
Brad,
An
I do
aggressive
already have a
base
dump.
running once again by Toledo. Coach Rob Reinstedel with the green light all the way. And Toledo
Don't mind if I
strikes back
do.
with a couple runs here off of Ramos here in the home half of inning 2. Now we're going to have a quick visit here by the Falcons here, just trying to settle the troops down here. Still holding a 6-3 advantage, but right now Toledo takes advantage of that leadoff walk once again, is able to put a couple across the board.
And we have activity in the Bowling Green bullpen right now. And, of course,
I was like, you know what,
the other thing that brings the Bowling Green staff out of the dugout is the fact that you have a young man who hit 3 home runs in the first of this doubleheader coming to the plate. Still with only one man
right.
out.
Just incredible the numbers that Jaron Williams continues to put up. I mean, game 1 alone, 4 hits, 15 total bases with the 3 home runs and the triple. That's the only thing that kept him from getting a MAC best 50 stolen bases, which would tie the all-time MAC record set back in 1988. But certainly a dangerous guy at the plate, hitting north of 400 all season long.
Drove in 5 runs in that first game, and he's got a runner on third. Ramos kicks and fires to Williams. The first opportunity in there for a strike as the 2 Archbold products do battle yet again.
And Williams led the nation in hits this season coming into today, so I'm sure that 4-hit effort in game 1 is not going to hurt his chance of expanding that lead.
Ramos kicks and fires, and Williams takes a mighty swing at that and misses.
Well, there's that high fastball we talked about with Coach Kyle Halleck trying to throw things upstairs.
Ramos kicks and fires. The 0-2 offering is low and in the dirt, away from catcher Kyle Gurney. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jaron Williams.
That's a big-time play by Cal Gurney to keep that in front. You know, Toledo's trying to tack on another run, and right now it's going to be important for Williams here. You want to be situational. You want to try to find a way to drive home Makowicz from third base here with just 1 out.
Ramos kicks and fires, and this one is nubbed, but caught by the shortstop. And very fortunate for Mason Montgomery. He had to take about 3 steps to his right to corral that baseball.
Great job by Ramos. A
Huge
tremendous
out.
sequence to Jaron Williams. Completely was able to saw him off. And boy, that's a big second out. This would be huge for Ramos to minimize things here in the second inning and keep this a 6-3 Falcon advantage.
Aiden Konzak walked his first time up against Ramos, and that first opportunity finds the mark for a strike.
Yeah, once again, good-looking changeup from Ramos to get on top of Konzak early.
So since
Ramos's 0-1 opportunity is high and outside, evens the count at 1 apiece, and Ramos is barely over 40 pitches at this point.
we would have moved to first or second or first by winning.
And here's the 1-1 offering from Rigo, and that one finds the outside corner. 1-2 the count with 2 out. And again, Toledo has their 4th run of the game, less than 90 feet from home.
Well, that was the perfect pitch right there, not only on the knees, but right on the black of the outside corner.
And the 1-2 offering is fouled over the third base side. We'll do it again. Aiden Konzak. And Mr. Konzak hitting .271 on the year, 11 home runs, 34 RBIs. Home run number 11 came in the first of this twin bill today. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Ramos. Swung on a missed strike 3, and Rigo works himself out of a jam. Toledo picks up 2, and we'll head to the top of the third, but Bowling Green continues to lead in this regular season finale for both teams. Falcons 6, Rockets 3. We're live at the Fraction in downtown Toledo. Smack Baseball on BCSN.
Yeah, it's going to be Hexa Ring, Hexagon. It's going to be one of those. Thin Ice, even. Yeah.
All right, if someone's confident in their Sui abilities, I'm not against that. Yeah, in the beginning at least. Yeah, just run around.
You were right. This is much smaller. Yeah. Just run around. I'm going to try to cut them off the best I can. Almost got this queer right behind me. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. You don't even have to grab. Just like run in front of it. Make them think about where they're going.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Field, where there you see the line score. Bowling Green leading Toledo 6-3 after 2 innings. Very similar to Game 1 here this afternoon. A lot of fireworks in the first 2 innings.
Got him. See you never.
And this
See you
time,
never.
Bowling Green, like Game
I'm
1,
gonna
comes out firing on all cylinders as they put up 6 big runs here through 2 innings. And it forced Toledo once again to go to the bullpen. There you see Nathan Leininger towing the mound for the Rockets, trying to keep this game right where it's at. Each team has scored in every inning here in Game 2. Both teams put up 1 run in the first inning. Meanwhile, Bowling Green with 5 big runs in inning 2, but credit the Rockets that came right back with 2 runs in the home half. And now Nathan Leininger trying to throw up the first 0 here of this second game of this twilight doubleheader here. And right now, they're fighting for series supremacy. Bowling Green took Game 1 on Thursday at Scott Park by a 4-0 count. Toledo came storming back after trailing 4-0 early today in Game 1 to secure a 17-9 victory. And now the rubber game of the match and the final game of the season for both these teams. And right now, both teams are going to throw out all the stops here to somehow get a series win. Bowling Green has won 4 of their 9 MAC Series contests this year. Meanwhile, Toledo has won 5 of their 9. And Toledo right now sits just 1 game below 500 in MAC standings. They could finish 15-15 in the MAC with a win here against their arch rivals. That team down south, as they say.
Nathan Leininger finds the strike zone against the reigning MAC Player of the Week and Adam Fallon, but he's behind on the count 3-1. Visitor half of the third inning from Fifth Third Field. Leininger kicks and fires, and that one is low and inside. And Adam Fallon will trot down to first base. Toledo really kind of kept him in check in the first game, but to your point, Thursday was a monster game for Adam Fallon, and Northern Illinois couldn't slow him down. The Secret Service couldn't slow him down last weekend at DeKalb.
Yeah, these guys have really kind of found their stride here. You know, offensively, they've struggled for most of the season. Their pitching has really been kind of their strength with their defense, but here their offense is kind of getting hot here. And for Toledo, certainly not the right time.
Well, Mason Montgomery scored in his last at-bat. He has a hit and a run to his credit, and also a stolen base.
In college for
just his second of the year.
Remember, a lot of these runs are kind of self-inflicted. 2 of Bowling Green's 6 runs have been guys that reached via the walk, and meanwhile, 2 of the 3 Toledo runs have been by guys that reached via the walk. So certainly a good lesson for all those young pitchers out there. You attack the zones. You're probably not going to no-hit very many teams. So most teams are going to get your 7, 8, 9 hits, but you have to minimize those freebies, something that's been hard to do here, particularly in Game 2 of this doubleheader today.
Leininger wheels over to Mason Sykes, and that will bring young Mr. Fallon back to first base.
The new games are fun.
Back to the matter at hand, Mason Montgomery.
But they're only in solos right now. They don't have them in squads.
Making his 13th start of the year, looks at a 1-1 pitch for a strike, and he's behind on the count 1-2.
Remember, R.J. Shunk, the freshman for Toledo, started things out on the bump for the Rockets. And he was able to get 3 punch-outs, although he only lasted 1 1/3 inning. The reason he gave up those 4 freebies.
And here's a line shot from Montgomery over the head of Jaron Williams, and this is going to be an opportunity here where the Rockets try to get a runner at third base, and the relay throw to Dante DiCello is not in time. And Adam Fallon showing us some wheels with finesse, grace, and aplomb, and he slides into third base.
Wow, what a great read by Fallon. That time kind of rolling the dice here. Not very often you're going to go first to third on the ball to left field, but I like the fact you got a right-handed left fielder. He has to go to the gap in center. And there you see the slide in the tag just in time there. And great job once again by Montgomery as he's able to, as a trailer, take the extra base there to second.
Well, and Fallon and Montgomery now in scoring position, nobody out. And Justin Fugit, the number 9 hitter, digs in against Nathan Leininger. And Leininger's first opportunity finds the mark on the outside corner, 0-1.
Remember, Montgomery came into today's action really kind of hitting well below the Mendoza line, but he now has 3 hits on the day, 2 for 2 here in game 2. This is what the Falcons need, production from the bottom of the order.
Leininger's 0-1 offering this time finds the inside corner, and Fugit does not agree with that call one bit. 0-2 the count. Again, Mike Martin behind home plate. Mark Handenwald at first and Marvin King at third as our umpiring crew. They've done a solid job today. Been a long day for them as well.
I said, buddy, you better finish.
Fugit, in the meantime, rips a base hit right into center field. That's going to drive in the 7th run of the game for Bowling Green as Fallon trots in. And Fugit, really fired up, thumps his chest towards the Bowling Green dugout. And for Justin Fugit, his 20th RBI of the year. And we'll go back to the top of the order with the designated hitter, DJ Newman. And
oh, no.
First baseman Mason Sykes heads to the mound and hands the biscuit back to Nathan Leininger.
And what production Bowling Green is getting from the tail end of their order.
7, 8, and 9, absolutely.
7, 8, 9, they get a walk, a hit, and they've scored a run. And plus they have the table set here, and that turns the lineup over to DJ Newman. And we've already talked about the many heroics Newman's had. Just been incredible what he's done here against Toledo this season. In his 3 games, he has 10 hits against Rocket pitching. And did we mention he pitched 8 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits on Thursday with
Struck out
8 strikeouts. Just been dominant. And certainly, he's a guy that's in the conversation for MAC, not only MAC Freshman of the Year, but MAC Freshman Pitcher of the Year. He's got to be in the conversation for both those two. And certainly very deserving if he would get either one of those honors.
Well, Bowling Green now with a 7-3 lead and nobody out and runners on the corners. And to Scoot Miller's point, they banged out 6 hits. Half of them have been from spots number 8 and 9 in the order. Montgomery with 2 and Fugit with 1. And, of course, the dangerous DJ Newman at the plate, and he rips one into left field, and that's going to drive home another run. As Montgomery comes in standing up, and Bowling Green pouring it on here with an 8-3 lead in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, another great at-bat by Newman. He doesn't go after the first pitch very often. When he does, it's for a reason. He's going to see one right across the middle of the plate. And, again, it's so important when you get that pitch, you can't miss it. And, again, Newman one of those guys doesn't try to do too much, but he's going to take advantage of what he gets. And that time he's able to drive home another run. And Bowling Green is opened this thing up to a 5-run cushion, looking for more with runners at first and second. Still no one out here in this 3rd inning.
Sam Seidel, the lefty, digs in, shows bunt, and looks at a first pitch ball. And again, Rob Ryston will go with the youth movement, starting young R.J. Shunk, just a freshman, and following him with Nathan Leininger, also a freshman. These young men are learning on the job in a hurry. Runners on first and second. The 1-0 offering is low and in the dirt, 2-0. Sam Seidel.
The gym is just incredible. Newman with 35 hits on the season, yet 11 against Toledo in 3+ games.
And talk about the youth movement.
Yeah.
Leininger's facing another freshman in Sam Seidel, and Seidel has to get out of the way of this one. And very quickly, he's ahead 3-0 against fellow freshman Nathan Leininger.
And you're like, why not just... Yeah, but you also can't live in the past.
Nobody out here in the top of the third, and Bowling Green, who took one in the epiglottis 19-7 in the opener, has an 8-3 lead, trying to salvage the split here at the season ender for both programs. Leininger kicks and fires. This one is high, and Sam Seidel is going to trot down to first base, and that is his 30th walk of the year, and the bases again for Bowling Green are loaded.
And once again, Rob Reinstedel forced to make another pitching change, and we're still in the third inning without an out, but out of necessity, he's going to go to the bullpen once again. Remember, mainstay Cal McInich probably not available this game, as he went 4 strong innings in game 1 to get a 4-inning save. But once again, Bowling Green offense really come to play here this afternoon. And there you see the call of the bullpen one more time for Coach Rob Reinstedel, just trying to find a way to minimize things here in the top of the third.
And we have a pitching change here at Fifth Third Field. Bowling Green leading Toledo 8-3 in the third inning. Back after these messages is Smack Baseball on ESPN.
But you also can't. You gotta block out the noise, right? You gotta block out that voice in your head that says "Oh, I failed because I wouldn't take job priority, and now I'm working at Firehouse." Who gives a fuck? You could be fucking shoveling horse shit for a job, and I'd be like, "Good shit." You gotta pay your bills. Who gives a fuck? Oh, and Merritt said, "Wait, hold my beer." He said, "Hold my beer. Hold my beer." Oh my. It's getting dicey. Yeah, what the shit? Do you think about it now?
Right-hander Kyle Pajacek out of Grand Blanc, Michigan, 6 foot, 180-pound junior, and coming on in relief certainly is nothing new to this young man, Scoop Miller. He had some solid innings in the series with Ohio, solid innings in the series with Akron, solid innings with the series against Northern Illinois and Central Michigan. This is nothing new for this young man.
Well, you're right. He leads the Rockets in appearances. This will be his 26th appearance on the season. All out of the bullpen. During that time, he has a 5.31 ERA. He's gone 39 innings, given up 55 hits. Does have 30 strikeouts to his credit. He's walked 22 batters. Opponents hitting .335 off of Kyle Pajacek. And right now, he inherits a bases-loaded jam here. Still, no one out here in the third inning. And Bowling Green has already pushed 2 across the board. So the first 5 Falcon hitters have reached base here in inning 3. And right now, the dangerous Cal Gurney was able to greet Nathan Leininger with a single when Leininger came out of bullpen, a chance to do the same here to Pajacek.
Tatters, but you're still winning ball.
With the bases loaded and nobody
Find
out.
the silver lining.
Fugate at third. Newman at second.
Baby. Stay humble, stay humble.
Seidel at first. And Pajacek trying to stop the bleeding for Toledo as he digs in against catcher Kyle Gurney. And the 1-0 offering finds the mark, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, great pitch right there. Again, you have to live low to a guy like Cal Gurney, who's got great power. Also the second lead hitter coming in at .312 on the season. He's reached base twice, scored 2 runs already here this afternoon.
That we can't get a free sandwich.
In the meantime, here's a line shot to third base. Relay thrown back to the catcher, Braden White.
Yeah. I mean, I know.
And the force out
universal rule, but I know
will keep the score at 8-3, and really a heads-up play on the part of Dante DiCello.
Tremendous play by Dante DiCello. A lot of guys are probably going to be enticed to step on third, throw across the infield. You're not going to get a guy like Cal Gurney on that type of ball that wasn't hit that hard. So even though it was maybe a step out at home, the smart play to get that lead runner.
And Ross, in the meantime, rips one to second base, which is going to squirm away from the grasp of Brian Fry. The relay to home is not going to be in time, and Bowling Green is going to tack on another run as Seidel slides in, and it's now a 9-3 game.
Tremendous job once again by Bowling Green. Again, nothing fancy. You know, they're just putting the ball in play. They're cut down on strikeouts. Combine that with the aggressive base running. And that time on a ball to second base that just skips away, they're able to plate 2 more runs. And there you see a very jubilant Bowling Green dugout, and why not? They have now put up 10 runs here with just 1 out here in the 3rd inning, looking for more.
This is going to give way to Nathan Archer. And Archer drew a walk his first time up today. Pajacek kicks and fires. Archer swings and misses, strike 1. 10 runs on 8 hits for Bowling Green. The runners on first and second. Still just 1 out for Bowling Green. Falcons guilty of 2 errors. Toledo 3 runs, 3 hits. Pajacek checks the runner at second, kicks and fires, and this one is driven to deep right field.
Was that gone? Yep, see you never.
And this one is going to find its way towards Fricker's Restaurant, and Nathan Archer,
BG just hit another
with his 9th home run of the year, with 2 men aboard.
13-3 lead.
And Bowling Green has blown this one wide open with a 13-3 lead.
Unbelievable. What a shot there off the bat of Nathan Archer, last year's leadoff hitter for the Falcons, now counting that power slot at number 5, and for good reason. Boy, that time he was able to turn on that fastball. And you're right, that was hit all the way to Frickers there, but watch that swing there. But again, a fastball belt high across the middle of the plate, and look at the reaction from Archer. He's enjoying that one as he watches it leave the yard there. My goodness.
And the Bowling Green dugout is fired up as Nathan Rose digs in. And this Nathan, also owner of a home run, came in the first game. 13-3, Bowling Green has blown this one wide open with 7 runs in the top of the 3rd, still only 1 out. Pajacek kicks and fires, and that's a strike, about waist high. 0-2 the count.
Remember, Bowling Green dead last in batting average in the MAC at .237, yet they've racked out 23 hits here in just over 11 innings of action here this afternoon at Fifth Third Field.
Here's the 0-2 offering. It is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Tyler Ross with a grand slam on the top of the 2nd. Nathan Archer with a 3-run home run in the 3rd. That's been the crux of the offense for BG, who has punched out 11 hits against this Toledo staff. The 1-2 offering is swung on, fouled away, and we'll do it again. Toledo broke out the Lumber with a 19-7 win in the opener, and BG trying to exact some revenge and even the season series at 2 apiece between these longtime rivals. Pajacek kicks and fires, a check swing in the dirt. White corrals it, fires over to Mason Sykes. And we have 2 away here in what has been a very productive 3rd inning for Bowling Green and a somewhat disastrous one for Toledo.
Boy, it really has. The fact that Toledo has gone to their bullpen early and often throughout this series. And credit Bowling Green for that. I love their approach here this afternoon. Been very patient, forcing Toledo to throw across the heart of the plate. And credit the Falcons when Toledo has done that. They have not missed out, as we just mentioned. 23 hits here this afternoon. But yet again, just trying to salvage the split here this afternoon after the Rockets erupted for 17 runs in game number 1 here this afternoon.
Adam Fallon with a run scored and a walk today looks at a 2nd pitch strike, and he's behind on the count 0-2.
60 yards per
Fallon hitting just shy of 250 on the year. Really come on strong here in the month of May. Here's the 0-2 offering from Pajacek, and this is looped foul towards the nets over the third base line, and we'll do it again.
There's another guy who tried to pull some cute shit on me, so he's now my public enemy number 1. And I got grab pucked, see you never. And the logs are pelting me in the face. I'm out.
And Pajacek's 0-2 offering to Fallon is low.
Me and damn Johnny
White
Bravo
has
were
to
sitting
trap
out here
that ball
in the
into the dirt.
fucking
1-2 the count.
Johnny Bravo's done. See you, Bob.
Just incredible. This is
Oh
a
my gosh,
football
who's got
score
out?
right now
Where
here.
the fuck did you come from?
You think it might be the third quarter, yet it's a baseball score in the third inning.
That was
Here's Pajacek's 1-2 offering. And again, low evens the count at 2-2. Along with Scoop Miller, my name is Jim Heller. Season-ending game between Bowling Green and Toledo. Second game of a doubleheader. Rockets won the opener 19-7 with 7 home runs from that Toledo lineup. But right now, it's Bowling Green trying to exact some revenge. Pajacek's 2-2 offering is lined for a base hit into left field, and Fallon's going to make the turn.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And Fallon
What?
has collected his 22nd hit of the year with 2 out.
That was the crumb ball.
And a runner on first.
Yeah, not a bad inning for Fallon. He started things out with a walk, came around to score, and now he has a base knock. As we've seen so many times, Bowling Green just refuses to give up outs. You know, even when they get 2 quick outs, they seem to string together some base runners, put themselves in a position to tack on runs.
Mason Montgomery, the shortstop, 2 for 2 in this nightcap. Looks at a first pitch ball low. 1-0 the count. 13 runs unofficially. 10 hits, 2 errors for BG. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Midnight Blue and Gold. Look a little shell-shocked right now. Pajacek's 1-0 offering is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. If Montgomery can keep this inning alive, we'll take a look at Fugit, Justin Fugit, for the second time this inning.
Yeah.
The 2-0 offering is a strike. White corrals the errant biscuit and sends it back out to relief pitcher Kyle Pajacek, native of Grand Blanc, Michigan. Third pitcher in this game for Toledo. Runner on first. Here's the 2-1 offering, and it finds the outside corner. 2-2 the count.
Another great-looking pitch from Pajacek. He's able to paint the knees right on the outer edge.
Well, Enrico Ramos had plenty of rest this inning. He might have grabbed 9 holes of golf. Here's the 2-2 offering, a check swing, and a called strike 3. But Bowling Green does a whole heap of damage. 7 runs unofficially on 7 hits. They strand 1. Bottom of the third, Bowling Green 13, Toledo 3. This is Mid-American Conference Baseball on a Saturday evening. You are watching BCSN.
Finish, boys. Let's go, go, go. I don't take that way anymore, Brad. Those are real finish. Yep. And I said don't go. I said that. I think I said that. And we're done. I mean, you guys are the worst at this game in history, man. That's just kind of where we're at. Well, it didn't me. Level 45 and the crown pass. Oh, make that. Or no, that's a battle pass. Never mind. I did level up 1.
In the bottom of the third, of the meat of the lineup for the Toledo Rockets, right fielder Garrett Pike, who hit 2 home runs in the first game. First baseman Mason Sykes and catcher Braden White all up due for Toledo. And the Rockets got some work to do, down 10 runs here in the bottom of the third. BG exploding for 7 in the visitors' half of inning number 3. Ramos digs into Garrett Pike, and the first opportunity is a strike, and a very, very well-rested Rigo Ramos as well. Here's the 0-1 offering. It's a bit high, evens the count at 1 apiece.
That may be an understatement, Jim. Well rested, the fact that he got a long layoff after that first inning.
And here is a base hit for Garrett Pike that sneaks in just inside the first base line. It gets pinned in the corner, and Garrett Pike's going to be in for a stand-up double.
You know, there's a great start when you're trying to come back from a double-digit deficit. You're not going to do it on one swing, so you just have to find a way to start closing that gap, start winning innings. But that's a great start as Pike, one more time, is able to lace a double just inside the base here on that right side. And a good start here against Ramos, who's coming off about a 35-minute layoff from inning number 2.
Mason Sykes with a hit and an RBI to his credit today. Digs in against Rigo Ramos, and the first opportunity is a strike about waist level. 0-1 the count. Sykes came into this nightcap batting .284, tied for the lead on this team with 15 home runs and 43 runs batted in. Runner at second with a somewhat generous lead in Garrett Pike, and here's the delivery to Sykes. It is high and outside. That's just the 4th hit for the Rockets. And again, Ramos has had plenty of time to think about this part of the Toledo order. Ramos kicks and fires. The 1-1 offering is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mason Sykes.
Yeah, good fastball by Ramos. And again, just as designed, trying to elevate the fastball on Sykes, and Sykes swings through it. Sykes did have that base hit back in the first inning, which seems like forever ago.
Sykes was 3 of 6 in the opener with 3 runs batted in. Here's the 1-2 offering, and this one is drilled but foul down the third base side. Hooking foul just beyond the Toledo bullpen. In case you're wondering, top of the 4th over in Omaha, the Mud Hens at Omaha are scoreless. Of course, a bit later on tonight, conference finals, the Toledo Walleye and the Idaho Steelheads in the Battle of the Fish. Ramos' 1-2 offering is hit for a base hit to the left side of center field. That is going to score a run. RBI number 45 on the year for Mason Sykes. Brings home Garrett Pike, and Toledo has cut it to single digits. Now a 13-4 game.
Yeah, great job by Sykes. He now is 2 for 2 here in game 2. Just a solid piece of hitting. Didn't try to do too much. And with the speed of Garrett Pike, he easily comes around third and scores. So right now, every inning, we've seen at least 1 run put up by both these teams.
Well, and I think Rigo Ramos' work for the afternoon is done. We are going to have a pitching change here at Fifth Third Field, bottom of the 3rd. Bowling Green 13, Toledo 4. We'll talk about the new BG pitcher when we come back after this on BCSN. Well, the Northwest Ohio flavor on the mound continues for Bowling Green. Rodrigo Ramos's work for the day is done, but he will give way to the sophomore reliever, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Finally, we get a chance to talk about the Northern Lakes League as in comes Landon Williman out of Napoleon High School. Scoop Miller.
Yeah, for the former Wildcat from Napoleon, this will be his 17th appearance, all out of the bullpen. He has an impressive 4.84 ERA. He's gone 22 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 28 hits. Has a 3-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, allowing just 8 walks. Meanwhile, recording 23 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .308 against Williman. Right now, Williman pitching with the lead, so he just wants to attack the zone here and just try to minimize things. Remember, this is the Toledo offense, more than capable of putting up some big numbers. We saw 7 home runs from the Rockets in Game 1 alone here this afternoon. So really, you have to pitch if there's no lead that's safe, attack the zone, minimize freebies, and try to enjoy that big 9-run cushion that you have.
Well, Williman's delivered a ball and a strike in his first 2 pitches to catcher Braden White. White out of Westerville South High School fouls this one away, and the count is 1-2. So a Wildcat on the mound, and Brandon Williman out of Napoleon facing a Wildcat in the batter's box, and Braden White out of Westerville South. With Mason Sykes taking a somewhat generous lead at first, and here is one that is lined right to short. Double play opportunity coming for Bowling Green. 6-4-3 on the twin killing. Puts 2 out for Toledo here in the bottom of the third.
Tremendous job by Williman coming out of the pen, inducing the ground ball. And we've talked about it over and over. Bowling Green, one of the top defensive teams in the MAC. And here a nicely turned 4-6-3 double play. Montgomery to Seidel over to Ross. And a twin killing really puts the dampers on this third inning for the Rockets. It started out so promising.
And Cade Root immediately hits a first pitch, which is slapped over to third base. Nathan Rose wheels over to his first baseman, Tyler Ross, and that makes quick work of the Rockets in the bottom of the third. Toledo picks one up, but as we head to the top of the fourth, Bowling Green 13, Toledo 4. This is Mid-American Conference Baseball from Fifth Third Field right here on BCSN.
Every night. Clubhouse. Fuck, man. Come on. Yeah. So I won a contest. Congratulations, man. I love that, man. The Liberty obvious wouldn't even let that fly these days. I love that Drake just kissed the girl out of nowhere. She's like, "What was that for?" It's like, "I won a contest." She's just like, "Yay!"
Bottom of the order will start it off for Bowling Green in the top of the fourth. Right fielder Justin Fugit, designated hitter DJ Newman, and second baseman Sam Seidel, all scheduled to come to the batter's box for the BG Falcons, who have a sizable 13-4 lead on top of the Toledo Rockets. If you just joined us, Bowling Green's Tyler Ross with a grand slam at the top of the second. And to throw a little more salt on the wound, Nathan Archer with a three-run home run in the third. And that's been the crux of this BG offense today. Pajacek digs in against Fugit. First opportunity. Fugit shows bunt and takes a called strike.
Fugit shooting has done his job from the 9th spot here this afternoon. He reached base twice with a couple hits in game 1. He's 1 for 2 here in game 2.
Pajacek delivers one inside, which Fugit cuts and misses on. 0-2 the count.
I got a valve. My eyes are not currently on the television. I do have outlaws.
Once again, they put that shift on, just daring Fugit to try to go Opple here on an 0-2 count.
Pajacek kicks and fires, swung on and missed strike 3, and Kyle Pajacek has his first strikeout on in relief. And we'll go back and turn the page over and go to the top of the order to DJ Newman, who is 2 for 3 today with an RBI and a stolen base and has scored twice.
Again, he just continues to pile up some big numbers from that leadoff spot. One of the rare two-way guys here in the MAC, a guy that will pitch and also find himself in the batting lineup. He's been the designated hitter, batting leadoff here for the Falcons majority of the last half of the season here, and what a great addition that's been for Coach Kyle Halleck.
Much like Navarra from Central Michigan. We saw that last weekend, and the 1-0 offering is in there for a strike, 1-1 the count. Of course, Garrett Navarra has been tormenting people for the better part of 4 years.
Yeah, it's just a rare breed these days to see a guy, especially a guy, a freshman like Newman, who's got such a high upside. Remember, he was not only a 3-sport athlete at Archbold, but a 3-time All-State athlete on the gridiron, on the hardwood, and of course on the baseball diamond. He's a guy that now focuses full-time on baseball. He's just going to continue to get better.
Well, and he's ahead now 3-1 against Kyle Pajacek as that opportunity is outside and gets away from Brandon White. Something else we don't say very often. 13 runs, 10 hits for BG, 4 runs, 5 hits for Toledo. It was Toledo that delivered the lumber in the opener. Bowling Green trying very hard and succeeding at returning the favor. Pajacek kicks and fires, and DJ Newman delivers this one over the head of right fielder Garrett Pike, and he's going to be in for a stand-up double.
Yeah, once again, the numbers pile up for DJ Newman. That time he's able to drive one the other way, and with that power that he has, he's going to be standing up at second base. So the hit and barrage continues for the freshman Newman, who is now 3 for 4 in this ball game alone, and he has pounded Toledo pitching now for 12 hits.
And now hitting on the upside at 370. Second baseman, Sam Seidel with a runner on second and 1 out. Seidel takes a mighty cut at that one and misses 0-1 the count. Again, Pajacek on in relief of Nathan Leininger, who relieved our starter, R.J. Shunk, for Toledo. Rigo Ramos went 55 pitches on the hill to start the game for Bowling Green. And the 0-1 offering is fouled away by Seidel. And Ramos, with a nice lead, has handed things off to the Napoleon product, Landon Williman, who's working with a 9-run cushion.
I wasn't sure exactly where it was.
But Pajacek has thrown 30 pitches thus far, 21 of them strikes.
Remember, Newman with great speed on second base. So you certainly want to try to keep him fairly tight.
He has 8 steals on the year, and that 0-2 offering is low and in the dirt, 1-2 the count. 1 out for BG in the top of the 4th, and they are working with a sizable lead, 13-4 over Toledo in this regular season finale for both programs. Again, the Falcons trying to get their 20th win of the year. Toledo trying to get back to 500 MAC play to end the season. Pajacek kicks and fires. The 1-2 offering is outside for a ball, 2-2 the count. Again, this game became a doubleheader when last night's festivities had a good crowd here, unfortunately got rained out. Well, the diehards have remained today.
Holy shit. The time of possession.
Pajacek's 2-2 offering is ripped down first base side, foul. We'll do it again.
Yeah, that was such a great crowd here last night. What an electric atmosphere. Just unfortunately, we had a couple ceremonial first pitches thrown out, but soon after, the tarps went on, and we were unable to play any baseball, but I don't think that kept the fans from having a great time here at Fifth Third Field, or as a fraction, as they say.
Pajacek checks the runner. The 2-2 offering is slapped back to the shortstop. Jaron Williams turns around, fires over to Mason Sykes, and we've got 2 out.
Yeah, nice play by Williams. That ball was going to eat him up if he did not get a tremendous jump off it, but he read it off the bat extremely well, was able to get that nice hop there and made that play look awfully easy. A second out here for Pajasic. Watch how he's able to get that before that ball is going to eat him up here with that short hop. Right now, Pajasic trying to do something that neither team's been able to do. Keep a team off the scoreboard for 3 outs.
And catcher Kyle Gurney hits a first pitch to short. Jared Williams wheels over to Mason Sykes, and that will take care of Bowling Green in the top of the 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, and the Falcons continue to lead the Toledo Rockets 13-4 in this regular season finale for both programs. Battle of High 75 continues after this on BCSN.
I don't know where the fuck. Oh, now they're over here. Damn it, think it's a cam. We just gotta keep holding. Not getting in. Oh, they're all out here. They're all out here. And I destroyed the mute. That's kind of on me. I also might have ruined your cat cam. I'm holding this hallway, Brad. Don't worry. I got the Val cam, so when they're in, they're getting blasted. Where? I'm still holding this hallway in the arcade room.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by PNC Bank.
Ash is coming.
Hitters numbers 7, 8, and 9 for Toledo in the bottom of the 4th. Second baseman Brian Fry, third baseman Dante DiCello, and center fielder Scotty Makowitz will represent the battery for the Midnight Blue and Gold. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Rockets got some work to do. They trail Bowling Green, who has had a grand slam home run and a 3-run home run to give themselves a 13-4 lead over host Toledo. Brian Fry, 1 for 1 today. Looks at a first pitch ball, 1-0 the count. And Mr. Fry hitting .272, his 44th start of the day. Looks at a strike, or a season rather. Looks at a strike in that one. 1-1 the count. And the native New Yorker digs in against Willman. Wraps this one right at first base, but Tyler Ross, right place, right time, scoops it and steps on the bag, and 1 away for the Rockets in the bottom of the 4th.
Once again, tremendous job by Landon Williman to come out, attack the zone early and often. He's been awfully impressive for the Falcons in relief this season. In fact, in his last 4 outings, he has not allowed a single run. He's gone 6 innings, has 7 strikeouts against just 1 walk, and he's been lights out here this afternoon since coming in relief just an inning ago.
Williman, just a sophomore, has a first pitch ball to the speedster Dante DiCello playing third base in this series. Williman kicks and fires, and DiCello ropes one into left field with a 2-iron. DiCello with wheels going to take a wide turn and then going to let discretion be the better part of valor and going to hold up for a single. And boy, you know, Dante, one of the speed merchants of this program, and he's thinking my team's down 9 last game of the year, and maybe I ought to stretch this into something.
Well, he did everything right. He had a quality swing there, a solid base hit. He's thinking 2 out of the box all the way, which you have to. But again, you don't want to run yourself out of an inning right now. You're not going to tie it up with this 1 run, so you got to play for that big inning. He did everything right. He put a little pressure out there on left fielder Adam Fallon, but Fallon did everything right, threw a seed there to second base. And now Scott Makowitz being called upon to keep the line moving here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
And Makowitz takes a swing at that second pitch from Williman, evens the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, perfectly placed pitch there by Williman once again, living downstairs here to Makowitz, who's had struggle with that pitch here this afternoon.
And the Lake Flyer digs in against the Napoleon Wildcat with a count even at 1 apiece. Williman kicks and fires, and this one is driven into center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. And the Rockets have runners on first and second in the form of Scott Makowitz at first and Dante DiCello at second. And they will turn the order over, and a young man who was about as productive as you could be in the first of this double-dipper with a 3-home run performance, Jared Williams, digs in.
Yeah, there you see it. Nice decoy out there in center field by Nathan Archer, trying to get DiCello to hold at first base where he might have a force at second. But great read by DiCello. Makowicz was the third hit of the day, but now the lethal Jaron Williams at the plate.
Williams 0 for 2, and he takes a swing at a first pitch, and this is going to be a beautiful catch in right field for Bowling Green, and sliding under that and anticipating it beautifully was Fugit.
Wow, what a big-time play by Justin Fugit out there in right field to take away possibly extra bases from Williams. But again, great read there once again by DiCello, who's able to beat the throw into second. A near double play there for that Falcon defense that's played all so well this entire season.
And it'll be up to Caden Konzak to keep the inning alive. Konzak has a walk, struck out once, left on base once today, too. As he digs in against Williman with runners on first and second. Williman kicks and fires, and that first opportunity is high and outside for a ball. Caden coming into this game hitting .271, making his 50th start in 52 games this year for Toledo. He has been incredibly consistent.
Yeah, he really has. That's a great way to describe that young man right there. He comes to the park every day ready to play, and he'll give you what he's got. And there you can tell by the uniform. It's always a good day when you got dirt in a uniform. And he's one of those guys that, plays the game the right way. Right now, this is not the scenario he envisioned against his arch rival, the Bowling Green Falcons. They find themselves down by 9, trying to just chip away here with a lot of baseball left. Again, you'd like to get something across here in this fourth inning. You just have to, at this juncture, go out and win innings, try to cut into that deficit.
2 balls and 1 strike to Caden Konzak, working against Landon Williman on in relief for BG. And here's the 2-1 offering, and this is driven deep to left field, but very, very playable. And underneath it for BGSU is Adam Fallon, and Toledo leaves some chicken on the bone, stranding 2. Top of the 5th coming up from 5th, 3rd field. Bowling Green 13, Toledo 4. This is MAC Baseball in the regular season finale. You're watching it on BCSN.
The dude from Cheers. I'm afraid you might be in a gang. Did you break it? Did you break it? You bought it? Did you break it? You bought it here? Is there an Uncle Boobs? Is there an Uncle Boobs? Is there a Ricky Ticky Bobby Wobbin? Ricky Ticky Bobby Wobbin. Mary Beth Beth Beth? Mary Beth Beth Beth? I miss Mary Beth Beth Beth. I got to bitch sport and screaming at my best friend.
Introducing the new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill, check your data usage, or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
The heart of the order for Bowling Green in the top of the 5th, first baseman Tyler Ross, who already has a grand slam to his credit in this game. Center fielder Nathan Archer, third baseman Nathan Rose. The Flying Nathans will make a plate appearance for BG in this inning. Ross has driven in 6 of the 13 runs for Bowling Green. Ouch.
Yeah, there's been plenty of runs all afternoon long. These teams have combined for 43 runs here this afternoon and 48 hits, yet we played just 13 innings. And so a lot of baseball left, but it's been a offensive showing by both teams here this afternoon.
And Pajacic's first opportunity is a strike in on Ross. Tyler, as we've talked about all afternoon, out of Olentangy Orange, a program that seems to just manufacture D1 talent like there's no tomorrow. And that 0-1 offering is a bit low and outside, 1-1 the count. I mean, you have Olentangy, you have Orange, you have Liberty, you have Berlin. I understand ground has been broken for a fifth high school in the Olentangy School District. It was a cornfield when I was growing up. There was one. And the 1-1 offering finds the corner, 1-2 the count. And, I think that's just indicative of the tremendous growth of the game of baseball in the Central Ohio area.
Well, you're no doubt about that. And you talk about that growth down in that Olentangy area. It's just incredible. You talked about the multi-schools, but those aren't just average-sized schools. Those are all large schools. And like you said, they're breaking ground for another. Yep. I remember those cornfields down there as well, making those trips down to Ohio State over the years.
And the 2-2 offering from Pajacek to Ross just misses the outside corner. The count is full. And you're absolutely right. And really, one of the names that really brought a lot of high school sports success in the Olentangy district was Ed Terwilliger, who was the longtime football coach at Olentangy High School, as Ross swings on that 3-2 pitch and strikes out for the first time today. He is now an assistant at Ohio State. His son, Andrew, is the director of football operations here at the University of Toledo. So 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon when we're talking about Olentangy, my friend.
That's a small world sometimes, but a good start right there for Kyle Pajacek. We've not seen a lot of early outs here in any of these innings this afternoon. That's a welcome sign for Pajacek to get the punch out on Tyler Ross.
And Pajacek's first opportunity to Nathan Archer is outside. Archer, the owner of a 3-run blast, part of that 7-run third.
And Archer had 3 hits here in Game 1 early this afternoon. Also scored a run in that game.
And a LaGrange, Ohio native looks at a 1-0 pitch, and now the count is 2-0. And as for Mr. Pajacek, that was his 44th pitch. One extra base hit for the Rockets. Garrett Pike with a double. Newman with a double, Ross and Archer with home runs for BG, and the 2-0 offering is outside, and quickly Kyle Pajacek is behind 3-0 to the dangerous Nathan Archer.
I've been on a run of positive KD matches.
Archer hitting right around 285 on the season. Pajacek kicks and fires. The 3-0 offering is in there for a strike, 3-1 the count.
Probably it.
Well-located pitch. That time just maybe a get-me-over strike, but well-located. Archer, a guy that certainly, with that home run power we saw earlier, going to be swinging at something in his nitro zone. That one's outside, so he'll take another free base here, issued by Rocket Pitching here today.
And that is the 7th walk issued by Toledo Pitching here in this nightcap, where Bowling Green has issued 3 walks to Toledo base runners. And Nathan Rose, who had the 3-run blast in the first game, digs in. Rose with an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout, and 2 at-bats today. 1 out, a man on for BG in the visitors' half of the 5th, and Rose gets a hold of this one, driven to center field. But back to make the catch, just shy of the warning track, is Scotty Makowitz, and quickly there's 2 out for BG here on the top of the 5th.
Yeah, good-looking swing off the bat of the senior Nathan Rose, but anytime that ball's up in the air for more than a couple of seconds, Scott Makowitz more than capable of tracking it down. And a nice job getting Rose after the walk to Archer. Remember, Jim, those 6 prior walks before Archer picked up the 7th, 4 of those 6 guys came around to score. So there's, again, the importance of not allowing those free bases that always come back to haunt you.
Adds up in a hurry. And in the meantime, Adam Fallon, the reigning Mid-American Conference Player of the Week, looks at a first pitch strike. Mr. Fallon, 1 of 2 today. He's been stranded 3 times today. Has a run scored and a hit to his credit. With a man on and 2 out, Pajacek kicks and fires, and this one is ripped foul towards the BG dugout. Quickly, Pajacek is ahead of Rose, 0-2. And Kyle trying to settle down with back-to-back scoreless innings. Pajacek out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. Kicks and fires the 0-2 offering. Just misses the outside corner. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, right idea. That's something you can do when you're up 0-2. Try to nibble on a backdoor curveball. But unfortunately for Toledo pitching, they have not been in that 0-2 scenario very often here all afternoon.
And the 1-2 offering from Pajacek is driven high to center field, but very playable. And underneath it to grab it with some zest is Scotty Makowicz. So back-to-back fly balls to Makowicz. Takes care of Bowling Green in the top of the fifth. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth, but the Falcons continue to lead Toledo 13-4 in this Mid-American Conference regular season finale. Middle of the fifth here on BCSN.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Win right there. It doesn't matter about KDs or points. It's a team W. It's a team game. Next time I have to strap you guys on my back for Fall Guys. We all remind ourselves it's a team game. No individual prizes. That's not what we play for. That's not what we do. Ooh. And now everyone. I'll say, are we waiting for Matt? Are we giving him a chance to get on, or should we just load up another one? $3:30 a.m. All right, so find another match. Matt's not getting on. It's just not happening. Just not happening. It's funny.
Napoleon's Landon Williman stays on in relief, working with a 9-run lead in the bottom of the fifth. Garrett Pike, Mason Sykes, Braden White all due for the Midnight Blue and Gold. Pike today, 1 for 2. He's scored twice and drawn a walk. Also has a stolen base to his credit. He looks at a first pitch strike.
And Pike had a monster game one here this afternoon at Fifth Third Field where he was 3 for 6, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs.
Oh, yeah.
Part of that 17-9 come from behind victory for the Rockets in game one. And now they're trying to pull off the improbable comeback, trailing by 9 here.
And the 0-1 offering from Williman is in the dirt. Evens the count at 1 apiece.
And Williman's been tremendous. Just what Coach Kyle Halleck has needed out of the bullpen. You know, not overpowering, but what he's doing, he's getting Toledo to hit his pitch. He's faced 7 guys. He's gotten 6 outs.
Pike, in the meantime, drives one into left field, but very playable. And underneath it is Adam Fallon for BGSU. And quickly there's one away here in the top, or in the bottom of the fifth.
I'm in a rhythm with.
Well, that's huge. You know, Toledo in game 2 here has got the leadoff man on base twice. Both times they came around to score, but the other couple of times not so much success. And right now, Williman really seems to be in a groove here.
Well, Mason Sykes, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs for Toledo. Digs in against Williman, and the first opportunity is a ball high.
You know, Sykes just 1 for 6 in game 1, but he did come up with 3 big RBIs for the Rockets, scored a couple runs as well. Trying to ignite things here in the home half of inning 5.
And the 0-1 offering is outside, evens the count at 1 apiece. And the 1-1 offering from Williman is driven high into the short outfield, and underneath it is Adam Fallon, and he makes the catch, and quickly there's 2 away for Toledo in the bottom of the fifth.
Hey, you can't say enough about the job Williman's done here in his early time here on the bump. But again, just what the doctor ordered, you know, eliminate the freebies, pitch with the lead.
And now we're going to see a pinch hitter for the Midnight Blue and Gold, and that is backup catcher Marcus Strother, the senior out of Kelowna, British Columbia, playing in his final home game for the Midnight Blue and Gold. He was one of about half a dozen young men honored before the first game today.
You know, Strother's been such a big part in this Toledo success here the last few seasons. He's just been a great leader as a senior. You big part of last year's 33-win team, which was the third most in Rocket history. Here he's going to be one pitch, one out. A tough play there by Kyle Gurney.
Catcher, as that was a moonshot that made some rain on that first pitch to Strother, and that will take care of the Midnight Blue and Gold in the fifth. We'll head to the top of the sixth. Bowling Green continuing to protect a 13-4 lead on top of Toledo. This is MAC Baseball from Fifth Third Field right here on BCSN.
1,000% off. Spawn. What's spawn? Whoa. The dude. Whoa. Merritt, I love it though. I love opening that up. Merritt, I love opening that up so much. Merritt's gonna team kill next round. It has to happen. Yeah, if only we didn't have a certain someone. If only we didn't have a certain someone. Yeah, Judo. I mean, I'm down to vote to surrender. I'm down to vote to surrender. Merritt said, I love opening up that hole. Merritt said, I love it, love it, love it. No way it backfires, and then Mario instantly kills us both.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Field here in downtown Toledo as the Bowling Green Falcons currently on top of the Toledo Rockets 13-4 as we start things out in the top of the sixth inning. And now on the bump there, you see him right there, Parker Newby, the senior from Hancock County High School out of Hawesville, Kentucky, on in relief here for the Rockets, trying to somehow stymie these Falcon hitters that have been so productive here this afternoon. Bowling Green has racked out 20-plus hits here in the first and second game combined here tonight, and they've put up plenty of firepower here in game two, scoring 13 runs off of 11 hits. And now the senior, Parker Newby, on to try to get maybe some momentum on the Rocket side of the field here. And he'll have to go through the likes of 8-hitter Mason Montgomery, who is 2 for 3 here in game two with a couple runs scored. So not an easy task. The bottom of the order has come up big all afternoon here for Bowling Green. And right now, Mason Montgomery stepping into the box here for the Falcons, trying to greet the senior, Parker Newby.
Montgomery, 2 of 3 in this nightcap. And young Mr. Newby out of Hawesville, Kentucky, began his collegiate career at Ole Central College. Newby, the lefty, kicks and fires, and that offering is also a ball, and 2-0 the count to Mason Montgomery. And the young Mr. Montgomery had a very productive nightcap. And the 2-0 offering this time finds the mark, 2-1 the count.
Well, you know it's a nasty pitch when it's a 2-0 pitch and the catcher doesn't catch it, yet it's still a strike. So plenty of movement from the southpaw Newby. He's had a small sample size this season. This is just his 4th appearance. He's gone 2 1/3 innings. Does have one punch out to his credit.
And the 2-1 offering is foul to the nets in the direction of Scoop Miller and I. Evens the count at 2 apiece. We are in the top half of the 6th inning. Toledo won the opener 19-7, but Bowling Green has enacted a little bit of revenge thus far with a 13-4 lead in the nightcap here at Fifth Third Field. Newby kicks and fires. The 2-2 offering is outside, and now the count is full.
Brad really wants to get it to fucking platinum.
Again, Newby just a junior, 6'3", 210-pounder. And the payoff pitch from Parker Newby to Montgomery. Montgomery swung on and missed, but it got away from the catcher, Carruthers, and he is not going to have a throw over to first base. And boy, you talk about small ball and hustle plays right there. Montgomery, even though he swung and missed, never gave up on the play.
Yeah, again, he's on base for the 3rd time here in 4 plate appearances in this nightcap. And that's unfortunate because Newby threw a tremendous pitch there to get his 2nd strikeout of the season. But when it got past Braden White. White tried to come up with it quickly, but with this night turf, a little bit dewy out there in the grass, he lost his footing. So he'll reach on the drop third strike.
And Newby's first offering to right fielder Justin Fugit is low and outside. And Justin today in 3 at-bats has a hit and an RBI to his credit, but he has struck out twice. Newby checks Montgomery at first, kicks and fires, and that 1-0 offering just missed 2-0 the count.
You better get to Fugit because looming on deck is DJ Newman, who is 3 for 4 here this afternoon.
Newby's 2-0 offering is swung on, hit over to Brian Fry, relay to Williams, 4-6-3 on the twin killing, and the Rockets forced 2 quick outs against BG here in the top of the 6th. But as you said, here comes trouble in the form of DJ Newman.
Now, nice turn here. That time you see the nice underhand flip by Fry into the All-MAC Golden Glove shortstop, Jaron Williams, makes that an easy 4-6-3 double play. So great job there by Newby. If you have to face DJ Newman, this is where you want to do it. No one on, 2 outs.
Newman 3 for 4 today and looks at a first pitch outside. And the junior out of Kentucky kicks and fires. Lefty against righty, and that one's a ball. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Here's the next offering from Newby, and that gets away from Carruthers.
Right now, with this type of score, you probably have green light, but just knowing DJ Newman, he's probably taken all the way here 3-0. He's just a guy that wants to find a way to get on base here, try to find a way to ignite things.
Newby kicks and fires, and that one is low, and DJ Newman, who already has a stolen base to his credit, is going to trot down. And Newby looking at the umpire, wondering, hey, what am I missing here?
Yeah, that's a quality pitch, but, Mike Martin, one of the solid umpires here in the MAC.
He's a veteran.
Very consistent. He does have a small zone. I think all coaches would agree with that. But
which is what we saw last Sunday against Central Michigan.
Everybody knows what you're going to get, so you have to catch the plate. He's not going to give you that wide strike or that one just below the knees.
And he digs in now against the number 2 hitter, Sam Seidel.
We've seen so many times, a lot of guys will have kind of that buffer zone where it's within a baseball, the black or the knees, the top of the zone. They'll usually give the pitchers a little cushion. Martin really, he's a guy that'd be very accurate on K-zone, I'm sure.
Newby kicks and fires, and the 0-1 offering finds the mark, and quickly is ahead against Seidel, 0-2. Seidel 2 for 2 today. He's drawn 2 walks. 2 for 3. Has also struck out 1 time. Newby kicks and fires. Seidel rips this one foul towards the Bowling Green bullpen. And we'll do it again at 0-2.
You love to have a guy in that number 2 slot that handles the bat well. He does a great job of putting the ball in play. Plus, he has some speed. He can push a bunt to either side of the field if necessary.
Newby kicks and fires, and this one is ripped into center field. Took a hop over second base. And Bowling Green, with 2 men out, now is going to have runners at the corners.
Now, great piece of hitting by the freshman, Sam Seidel. Again, nothing fancy, but he puts the ball in play, makes solid contact. There you see Newman at third base. Great read by Newman. Then watch this hit. Nothing fancy right up the middle, but tremendous read by the freshman, Newman. No hesitation. Makowicz has a strong arm, but he's able to read that very well. Ball not hit hard enough. And with the grass getting a little bit wet here with the night air, kind of a no-brainer for Newman. And just like that, runners at the corner here for the Falcons, trying to spoil Parker Newby's outing out of the pen.
And the first opportunity dropped in against catcher Kyle Gurney as a strike, 0-1 the count. Again, DJ Newman at third. Sam Seidel at first. 2 out for the Falcons. They're up 13-4, looking for more with a dangerous catcher Kyle Gurney at the plate, working against Parker Newby. And this one is roped into left field for a base hit. Newman is going to trot in. And it's back to a 10-run cushion for Bowling Green at 14-4 with runners on first and second. And this damage all done with 2 out.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times here all afternoon and evening long, but credit Cal Gurney, again, one of the tougher bats in all the MAC for several seasons. And there the senior comes through one more time. He's already scored 3 runs here this afternoon, is on base, looking to come around for the 4th time after having a couple hits in Game 1 earlier this afternoon.
Well, with 6 RBIs already in his pocket, the cleanup hitter Tyler Ross digs in against Parker Newby, and Carruthers has to pounce on that ball behind home plate. 1-0 the count. Now 14 runs unofficially, 13 hits for Bowling Green and 2 errors. Toledo with 4 runs on 7 hits.
Yeah, what a day here for Ross. That grand slam in the second inning kind of broke things wide open. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning, singled in the third inning, came around to score. So tremendous start here in this nightcap for the senior Tyler Ross.
And Ross even up 1 ball and 1 strike against Parker Newby.
Right there, 2
With runners at first and second and 2 out, Newby kicks and fires, and this one is chopped foul by Tyler Ross.
Where? Oh, it's behind the bar. I knew I heard someone over here. Yep, we're in a rough spot here.
I've heard a lot of "Let's Go Walleye" chants throughout the crowd here as well. So great turnout again for the Battle of I-75 here.
Folks getting hockey and baseball at the same time. Can't beat that. Here's the 1-2 offering from Newby, and this is sliced foul right into the BG dugout. Somebody got a close shave there.
Yeah, all the television monitors throughout the stadium are showing the walleye game as well. But again, what a night of fireworks for these offenses here this evening. Putting up so many big runs here all afternoon.
The 1-2 offering from Newby is chopped foul, this time towards the Toledo dugout. So Tyler Ross has sent souvenirs in both directions in this at-bat. And all Mr. Ross has done today in 3 at-bats, 2 hits, one of them a grand slam home run, has scored twice, driven in 6. And he's behind 1-2 to Parker Newby. With 2 men out, Newby kicks and fires. This one a ball outside, evens the count at 2 apiece.
Yeah, right idea by Newby that time. Up in the count, 1-2. Try to go with the backdoor curveball. Just misses catching the outside corner. And now 2s are wild here in the top of the 6th inning.
Newby kicks and fires, and the 2-2 offering is clubbed foul, and that is now 4 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Tyler Ross. BG with a 14-4 lead. First game was all Toledo, 19-7. Falcons trying to turn the tables here in the nightcap. They're doing so thus far. Newby's 2-2 offering is swung on and missed, and Parker works himself out of a jam, but strands 2. Bowling Green picks up 1 in the visitors' half of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Bowling Green 14, Toledo 4. This is Mid-American Conference Baseball, and you're watching BCSN.
Brad was telling me how bad it is. I don't mind. Like, if you're getting paid near minimum wage, do minimum effort. I'm okay with that. I've come to that point in my life where it's like, you want to work, fine. If I walked into Chipotle and the worker was like, I'm not feeling it today, like just kind of a serve yourself situation, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. It's like me at Breeze Airways being like, do I need to fly this thing? Like, what are we doing? Literally. Yeah. It was a mad situation. I was like, how soon to our departure time, when there's no workers, do I just start yelling? I think Brad needs to get a job at a pizzeria. Brad, open your own pizzeria. Boom, start your own business. There. Low key, what if you just made pizzas out of your home in like an oven and delivered them? I'm sure like there's like illegal.
And we move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Bowling Green continuing to lead Toledo 14-4. We now have moved over to BCSN 2. Game 1 of the East Coast Hockey League Western Conference Finals between your Toledo Walleye and the Idaho Steelheads is just underway live on BCSN from the land of Spuds. We'll continue our coverage on BCSN 2. Of course, live right now on BCSN. The Toledo Walleye and the Idaho Steelheads. Conference Finals. Hockey, baseball, you get it all here. And free parking, too.
This guy down that hallway. I just yanked myself.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Cade Root will lead things off for the Midnight Blue and Gold.
People are getting yanked at Pew Pew Doo Doo.
Against Landon Williman, who has worked a gem here in relief.
Why does our play have a bag?
And that 1-0 offering is low in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes the count.
I love it.
Williman kicks and fires, and the 2-0 offering is inside, and he's behind 3 balls and no strikes to Cade Root. And Williman's 3-0 offering this time finds the mark, 3-1 the count.
Right now, Jim, it's been incredible today here in this doubleheader. Both BG and UT have scored 25 runs. I'm sorry, have 25 hits, and both have scored 21 runs.
Root with a pop fly to short left field. Underneath it is Fallon. Fallon's been pretty busy with a glove out in left field today, and there's one away for the Rockets in the bottom of the 6th. That'll give way to second baseman Brian Fry. Again, we have now moved to BCSN 2 for Bowling Green and Toledo baseball. Live on BCSN right now is Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals in the ECHL playoffs between the Walleye and the Idaho Steelheads. No score, a little under 17 minutes remaining in the first period in the land of Spuds. Now Williman having a chat with his catcher, Kyle Gurney, and we may be seeing a pitching change here shortly.
Yeah, we do have a pitching change right now for Bowling Green. They're going to pull Williman, but what a great job Williman did out of the pen here this afternoon for the Falcons. He was able to quickly come in, get a double play ball in the 3rd inning, fouled up by a ground ball, so 3 quick outs, and then he had a scoreless 4th inning, a 1-2-3 5th inning, retired the first batter here in inning number 6. And now Coach Kyle Halleck going to the bullpen. And there you see him, number 22, Owen Recker,
6'4",
the junior right-hander.
From Toledo, Ohio, in the heart of the Putnam County League. And, boy, that makes me think of my old friend Jim McBride and what a program he built down there in Toledo. You had to go head-to-head with him back in the day.
I'll tell you what, they've had some solid athletic teams down there in Putnam County, as you know. And, of course, Toledo really kind of known for their basketball.
Absolutely. The king, Richard Corticrax, knew him well. Wonderful, wonderful man, and still very active to this day.
Yeah, King Richard, as they say. I think he had 891 career basketball wins, number 1 in the state of Ohio after a lengthy career that actually done a couple of schools, but primarily majority were at Toledo.
Started at Fort Jennings, moved to Ottaville, and then had a run over 30 years at Toledo. And if memory serves me correct, as of recently, was an assistant for his son Randy at Bishop Hartley in Columbus. I don't know if that's still the case, but Dick Corticrax synonymous with high school basketball in Northwest Ohio, hailing from Toledo, as does Owen Recker, the new pitcher for BG. He digs in against second baseman Brian Fry, and that first opportunity is a strike.
Again, what a job by Williman. 3 1/3 innings. Did not allow a run, just a couple hits. Did not strike out a batter, but more importantly, did not surrender a walk. And that's exactly what you want to do when your offense sports your lead. Pitch with the lead, throw to contact. He did exactly that.
Quickly, he's ahead. 0-2 is Recker on second baseman Brian Fry, and Fry swings and misses, and he is a strikeout victim. And only the second strikeout registered by Bowling Green pitching today. Caden Konzak, the only other victim. That'll give way to Dante DiCello. with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And Bowling Green comfortably up top, 14-4.
And Recker, just like all his other teammates in the bullpen, another multi-sport standout athlete. He started on the basketball court as well.
And DiCello gets a hold of this first pitch. It is hooking foul. Oh, it hits. It hits the foul pole and snuck in fair, and that is going to be a home run for Dante DiCello, just his 3rd of the year, and his 11th RBI. And from the moment that left his bat, that thing was ducktailing foul and just had enough zest to hit the fair pole and stay in.
That had to feel awfully good. Watch it right here. He just absolutely clobbers this. This one is above the lights. It's just a matter of will it stay fair or not. And it hits just inside the foul pole there off the steel mesh. And, boy, that was a tape measure shot. And Toledo here is able to answer that run they gave up in the top of the 6th inning on that monster shot there by DiCello.
And they're doing the happy dance down in Hamilton. That will give way to the number 9 hitter, and that is center fielder Scott Makowicz. And today, Scott, 2 hits, a couple at-bats today. 14 for Bowling Green, now 5 for Toledo. Recker kicks and fires, and Makowicz fouls this one over the Toledo dugout. 1-1 the count.
And Recker's been a mainstay for the Falcons out of the bullpen. In fact, he has a save against nationally ranked Louisville back early in the season. But he was one of the highest rated recruits ever to come out to Bowling Green in the past decade and a half or so.
Recker's 1-1 offering outside, now 2-1 the count, Scoop. Yeah, there is a whole lot of great high school basketball in Putnam County, no doubt about it, much like there is in Fulton. As Makowicz fouls that one away. Evens the count at 2-2.
Well, of course, Jaron Williams' father, Doug, was part of that
great
Putnam
run.
County
Great
area
run in
down
the
there
early
at Continental
90s.
High School, coaching the Pirates.
93 took a team all the way to the regionals. Lost to Upper Scioto Valley. Remember that game very well. Recker kicks and fires, and again, Makowicz fouls this one away.
And Recker's showing right now why he's one of those special pitchers out there. He's got an electric arm. And especially this time of night, boy, that baseball is going to be tough to pick up. Toledo just 1-2 in night games on the season. That one win being an impressive one at Kent State.
And this opportunity from Recker hits Scotty Makowicz, and Scotty's going to trot down to first base. Again, nothing flagrant, just one that went inside. And Makowicz, for the 4th time this year, hit by pitch, and he'll take first base, and we'll head back to the top of the order with Jaron Williams. And Williams, who hit 3 home runs in the first game, is still looking for his first hit in the nightcap.
Yeah, Williams has currently a 20-game hit streak going on.
And Recker's first opportunity, and Williams will get his first hit of the game as this one dribbles into right field. Couple of hops before it's cut off by Justin Fugit. And with runners on first and second with 2 out, Caden Konzak will try and keep this Toledo rally alive. But the Rockets down 9. Home run from Dante DiCello has been their only run here at the bottom of the 6th. It was their first run since the 3rd inning.
Remember, Williams sitting on first base. It's 1 stolen base from the all-time MAC list at 50.
Well, that might mean that Toledo's going to have to try a double steal as Konzak looks at a first pitch strike. It's going to be kind of hard to do.
Well, the problem is certainly not a steal situation where you're down 9 runs and you're starting to get into those late innings, so you're playing for that crooked number here.
So if he wants to tie the MAC record, it's going to have to be a double steal. Recker kicks and fires. Check swing by Konzak. It's pulled back in time. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, we got to... Brad, you have a drone on that thing? Yeah.
And here's the 1-1 offering from Recker. It is high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. 2 out for Toledo in the bottom of the 6th, but a runner in scoring position with 2 men on.
Nice. mean, we had drones on the bomb. Even if you would start defusing, I was going to run there again.
Gonzaga, who had a home run in that first game.
Literally.
Love another one here. Recker kicks and fires, and this one is outside. And Gonzaga now ahead 3 balls and 1 strike against Owen Recker.
Yeah, great job by Gonzaga. And here he has to be smart here. You don't want to just swing at any strike. You have to be swinging at something you're going to be able to barrel up and drive to a gap here.
And the 3-1 pitch from Recker is high and outside, and now the bases are loaded with 2 men out. And the number 3 hitter and right fielder Garrett Pike comes to the plate. And Mr. Pike today walked once, has a stolen base, has 1 hit, scored twice in 3 at-bats. And now we're going to have a conference on the mound with Owen Recker. There is activity in the Bowling Green bullpen right now.
And right now, it looks like Bowling Green going to try to buy as much time for that bullpen to get warmed up. They were certainly expecting more out of Recker here this evening. Again, Recker's pitched some awfully big innings for the Falcons this season.
Well, they're going to stick with him for the moment. Maybe just to see if he can get out of the inning here. But he's in a bit of a jam with the bases loaded of Toledo Rockets. Of course, the Rockets trail by 9, 14-5. And Garrett Pike, a young man at the plate for the University of Toledo, tied for the team lead with 15 home runs. Two men out. Recker digs in against Garrett Pike, and the first offering is swung on and missed.
Now that time, Pike had a healthy swing, really trying to put a hurt into that 9-run advantage here for Bowling Green. You talked about the power that Pike certainly has.
Garrett, the sophomore out of Anthony Wayne High School, Division I Player of the Year as a senior for the Fighting Generals. Has the bases juiced with 2 outs. And the 0-1 offering is outside. 1-1 the count.
And Pike with 27 extra base hits on the season. And of course, 2 of them being the home runs that we saw earlier this afternoon.
Recker gets the signal. Here's the 1-1 offering, and this one is chopped, but a beautiful stab at shortstop by Mason Montgomery saves the day for Bowling Green, and what looked like it might be a 2 RBI single for Garrett Pike turns out to be a line out. Toledo strands 3. We will move to the top of the 7th. Bowling Green 14, Toledo 5. This is Mid-American Conference Baseball, and you're watching BCSN 2.
Oh, found a guy. 2 thing. I got him. Nope, I lied. Headshot. Bang. That was the most stupid timing ever. He was behind a pole when I first popped out and I shot at him. That's like so unlucky. Ugh, if we lose, it's going to be all my fault. Alright, the guy's in the back hallway going freezer. Oh, right here. I'm pinging him. 2 ping. Not a hard ping. I'm going to keep pinging him. Nice, Merritt. Dub. See. Hey, I told you Valk would pay off that round. Those cams. Yeah. See, I just had to shake the rust off.
The pride of the Green Meadows Conference, the young man from Hicksville, Ohio, the former ace just outside Defiance, number 43, Jackson Bergman. Another one of the freshman pitchers in this very, very deep rotation for Toledo. 6'5", 205 pounds, the former ace, as in Hicksville ace. And now on to pitch for the Midnight Blue and Gold. And Scoop Miller, for lack of a better term, what's the scoop on young Mr. Bergman?
I tell you what, there's a lot to like about the freshman Jackson Bergman, who continues to gain confidence. I thought they were going to redshirt him throughout the season, but out of necessity here down the stretch, they've called for him out of the bullpen. This will be his 6th appearance. He's gone 7 innings, allowed just 5 hits, has 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponents hitting just 200 off of Jackson Bergman, who has a 2.57 ERA that leads the Rockets as far as ERA is concerned.
And it will be Nathan Archer, Nathan Rose, and Adam Fallon.
And of course, Bergman's father, Sean, pitched for the Detroit Tigers back in the 90s. Here he's able to get a quick pop-up. Looks like Jaron Williams is going to be called off by Caden Konzak in left field. And a quick first out for the freshman, Jackson Bergman.
Well, and that's no easy task. Archer's been very productive today, has a run, a hit, and has driven in 3 runs, also walked twice, and he's dispatched quickly here in the top of the 7th. And that will give way to Nathan Rose, the third baseman. And Rose takes a mighty swing at the first opportunity from Bergman and misses 0-1 the count. 14 runs, 13 hits for Bowling Green. 5 runs, 9 hits for Toledo. We've had 3 home runs today, 2 of them for BG, and they were action-packed. Tyler Ross with a grand slam, Nathan Archer with a 3-run shot. For Toledo, Dante DiCello with a solo home run in the 6th. But it has been, at least in this nightcap, the Falcons who have been the aggressors after Toledo put up 19 in the opener. Bergman kicks and fires, and this one is a high foul ball arcing over the Bowling Green dugout, and there's a souvenir for some of the diehards who have remained. In case you're wondering, the Mud Hens on the road in Omaha tonight. In the bottom of the 6th with a 4-0 lead. Our good friend Jim Weber on the call on that one on WCWA radio today. And, of course, on the BCSN networks. And Bergman plucks Nathan Rose right between the shoulder blades with that pitch. And that is the 2nd Bowling Green batter that Toledo has hit today. And Rose will trot down to first base, and that will give way to Parker Heydrich, who has checked into the outfield. 6'1" senior out of Salem, Ohio. His first at-bat of the evening. Heydrich has scored a run this year, still looking for his first hit. And he will pinch hit here at the top of the 7th. He digs in against Bergman. First opportunity is inside, and Heydrich has to get out of the way of that one. 1-0 the count.
Well, Bergman, like so many other pitchers we've seen for both teams, another multi-sport athlete, was a 2-time first team at GMC selection, playing basketball for the Aces.
Brad already had negative
Of course, his baseball heroics were just as impressive. Hicksville team, like many other teams at GMC's, had a lot of tournament success.
And he's even 1-1 against Heydrich, and Heydrich pops this one up into foul territory, and Struthers is there to make the catch.
By now. What are we talking about? What are
Struthers
we doing?
showing us some great wheels and forcing the pop out behind the plate.
Yeah, we've seen Marcus Struther, how good a defensive catcher he's been over the years, but with the not only the glove and bat of the likes of Braden White, he's found himself in a kind of a backup role, but he's been awfully impressive for the Rockets.
2 out in the top of the 7th, and the first pitch to Mason Montgomery, who has been a terror today with 2 hits, 2 runs, and a stolen base. Has also struck out a couple of times. Bergman kicks and fires. The 1-0 offering is high and outside. 2-0 the count. With Nathan Rose over at first base.
You're getting duties.
Bergman kicks and fires, and this one is inside and brushes back Montgomery just a skosh. And Bergman is behind 3-0 to the opposing shortstop in Mason Montgomery. Bergman kicks and fires, and that one is inside, and he walks Montgomery on 4 pitches.
If she ain't buff, I don't want to know.
And Bowling Green with something cooking here with runners on first and second and 2 out in the visitors' half of the 7th inning, and that will give way to the number 9 hitter, Justin Fugit. Fugit with a hit and an RBI today has also struck out twice. And we may have a pitching change here for Toledo. Now, there's nobody warming up in the bullpen right now for the Rockets, so maybe this is just to calm down young Mr. Bergman.
And again, Jackson Bergman's got great stuff. We've seen that in his limited time with the Rockets. Again, he's a guy that has to kind of grow as he goes here. We've seen the confidence grow in this young man throughout the season. Again, he has to trust his stuff. He's got good enough stuff. He's going to get guys out. But like you could say for all pitchers, you have to minimize those freebies and not try to jumpstart an offense that's needed a little help this entire series, as Bowling Green has just constantly put pressure on this Toledo defense. They had 10 hits in that 4-0 win on Thursday, and they fouled that up here with a 12-hit performance in Game 1. And now they've had a 13-hit performance here in Game 2, so 35 hits for this team. You just don't want to kind of pad their stats by giving them freebies.
Here's Bergman's 0-1 delivery. It's a called strike, and he's ahead of Fugit 0-2. Again, with 2 men out, runners on first and second. Bowling Green is stranded 8 in this nightcap. Toledo is stranded 7.
Let's tip to the line. That's a win. Let's go. Run out, boys. 38.
And the 0-2 offering is popped up in fair territory. DeShello makes the catch. And that will take care of Bowling Green. Stretch time of the nightcap here at the Fraction Fifth Third Field in downtown Toledo. The Bowling Green State University Falcons 14, your Toledo Rockets 5. The Battle of I-75 continues on BCSN 2.
If she ain't buff, I don't want to know. Shafted. Yeah.
Bottom of the 7th inning here on BCSN in this Battle of I-75. Toledo won the opener 19-7. Bowling Green leading the nightcap 14-5. And a new pitcher on the hill for the BG Falcons, 6'4", 222-pounder out of Copley, Ohio, near Akron. And that young man is the veteran Tyler Hayes, Scoop Miller.
Yeah, he is a veteran. Back in 2019, he set a Bowling Green freshman record for batters struck out with 72. But since that time, he's battled some injuries, so it's just nice to see him back out there in the hill. His final appearance in a Falcon uniform. And man, he's had to go through a lot to just get back to this juncture, but certainly nice to see Coach Kyle Halleck, as Rob Ryan said as well, get a lot of seniors into this game here this afternoon.
Speaking of seniors, Mason Sykes looks at a first pitch ball, 1-0 the count. Mason, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and 3 at-bats today. Looks at the 1-0 offering, and that paints the outside corner for a strike, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Mason had career home run number 38 as a Rocket that added to his all-time home run leading stat for Toledo.
And the 1-1 offering is chopped foul. Due up after Mr. Sykes, Marcus Struthers, Caden Root in the Toledo half of the 7th inning. Boy, what a season Mason Sykes has had, hitting .285.
I'll take Candle.
And a little heat coming from the glove of Tyler Hayes strikes out Mason Sykes, and there's one away. And that may be all that we're going to see tonight of Tyler Hayes, as Hayes is given some congratulatory hugs by his teammates. And to your point, Scoop Miller, just for the opportunity for this young man to come on out and pitch for BG one final time, going to be worth it. And he's wiping away some tears.
Yeah, it's hard not to root for a guy like that who's been through a lot, but has had the perseverance to stay with it, to see him go out there in the bump one more time and to end it with a punch-out. Has to be a very special moment for that young man right there.
Well, that certainly shows a lot of class on the part of Coach Kyle Halleck to do that. And now he is going to go dig into a rather deep rotation again and find himself a left-handed reliever. And heaven knows Bowling Green's got plenty of them. And the young man we're going to see for the Falcons this time is Nick Good, 5'11", 180-pound sophomore out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Left-handed pitcher. Seen limited action this year, but a young man, from what I understand, has pretty good stuff.
Yeah, he's got a live arm. He's a guy that can sneak a fastball by you, and the fact that he's left-handed is always a hot commodity to have out of your bullpen. So, again, one of several different Falcon pitchers we've seen here this afternoon, but now being called upon to again, just try to keep these Toledo bats quiet, something that's been easier said than done this season.
And he will face backup catcher Marcus Struther, the senior out of British Columbia, who was one of about half a dozen Rockets honored before this game. And to your point, Scoop, and you touched on this in the opener, and it bears worth repeating, is a handful of these young men will get the opportunity to show their stuff at a professional level in the minor leagues, but for most of them it's a means to an end to help supplement an education as they move on to the 9-to-5 world after they get their diplomas.
Yeah, and again, that's the beauty of college baseball. This is a special time, and these young lives out here just going out there competing, but these guys are more than just athletes, as you allude to, Jim. They're student athletes, and again, the big majority are going to be here for 4 or 5 years and off to have their jobs, and probably not going to have a life in baseball beyond this juncture. But certainly both these teams over the years have had plenty of guys that sign professional contracts and go to that next level.
Struther 0 for 1 today. Lines this one foul. And he's quickly behind 0-2 on the count. Nick Good, the left-handed pitcher, a sophomore from just north of here in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. And the 0-2 offering is in the dirt. We're in the bottom of the 7th. It's been all Bowling Green in this nightcap with a 14-5 lead.
Jim, there have been 18 players that played Major League Baseball just from Bowling Green State University alone, the most recent being John Birdman Birdie, who last year led the Major League in stolen bases. And right now, I think last I checked, he was hitting just north of 270 for the Miami Marlins with 7 stolen bases this season. But he's a guy that, for a career, he has a WAR, that's wins above replacement, of 5.9. They say a good player is 3 to 4, an all-star 4 to 5, a superstar is 5 to 6. He's at 5.9 for his career, so he's had some great numbers in the major leagues.
Good digs in. And his first offering against Cade Root after he rings up Struther as a strikeout victim is a ball, 1-0 the count. 2 outs for the Rockets in the bottom of the 7th. Bowling Green with a 9-run lead, 14-5. Good, the lefty kicks and fires, and Root pops this one up just beyond the infield. And the right fielder makes a nice sprint draw in to make that catch. Is Fugit, and that will take care of Toledo in the bottom of the 7th. Top of the 8th coming up from the Fraction on a cold May night in Toledo. Falcons 14, Rockets 5. MAC baseball regular season finale. You're watching it on BCSN.
So, yeah, I think Brad tried to hang himself a couple times. Peyton. Tell Benny better cut that off before he goes to college.
And broadcast is presented by Bowling Green State University, a public university for the public good. Visit bgsu.edu to learn more.
Boys, like I think I do. Man is going to be in Asheville suit day one of college.
Back to fifth, third field. Top of the eighth, the new pitcher on for the Midnight Blue and Gold, Kyle Sweet Chin Music, 6'5", 220-pound junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, West Claremont High School, and we've seen him throw some dandies this year, Scoop.
Yeah, he's been impressive out of the bullpen for the Rockets this season. For Music, this will be his 22nd appearance. He's gone 26 in 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 37 hits, has 26 punch-outs, 16 walks surrendered, and now being called upon to try to stymie this Bowling Green offense that's erupted for 14 runs here in Game 2 of this twin bill.
And his first opportunity to pinch hitter Anthony Toma, who is in pinch hitting for the second time this afternoon, is a ball. 1-0 the count. Music kicks and fires, swung on and missed, evens the count at 1 apiece.
Whoa! They know where I'm here.
Kyle Music began his collegiate career at Pensacola Junior College in Florida.
I had almost nothing bought.
Native of the Queen City with a 1-1 offering, and this one is driven to left field, but a hooking foul for Anthony Toma. And Anthony hitting 154 on the year coming into this game. This is his 17th game he has played in this year. Junior, good utility player for the Falcons, can play in the infield, play in the outfield as well. He's behind 1 and 2 to Kyle Music. Here in the top of the eighth, Music kicks and fires. The 1-2 offering is low and outside. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, both teams have gotten a lot of bodies into this second game of this doubleheader here tonight.
Whoa, this guy right there.
Bowling Green trying to win the MAC series here.
Toma this time rips one which is hooking foul over the first baseline. And Toma's had 2 pretty good rips in last 2 pitches against the veteran Kyle Music.
Well, you know, these guys, when they're getting their opportunity, they want to try to make the most of it, as is Kyle Music out there in the bump, and, of course, Toma there at the plate.
Both young men juniors. I'm sure they'll both be called on to do big things next year. Music kicks and fires, and the 2-2 offering is outside, and it's 3-2.
Once again, we're seeing such a great approach here from the Falcons all evening as far as plate discipline, not helping Toledo pitchers, staying within the zone.
Yeah.
Now they've worked another 3-ball count. Payoff pitch coming up.
Music kicks and fires, and this one is club foul towards the Toledo dugout, and we'll do it again. 14 runs on 13 hits for Bowling Green, 5 runs on 9 hits for Toledo. As this doubleheader is approaching 7 hours here at Fifth Third Field. Music kicks and fires, and this one is fouled away, and we'll do that payoff pitch again.
Yeah, great job by Toma. He's now fought off 3 tough pitches here.
No! What?
With a couple strikes. Something we've seen quite a bit in this series, really by both teams doing an excellent job of spoiling some pretty good 2-strike pitches. Now the payoff pitch coming up one more time.
Music kicks and fires. That 3-2 offering takes a bounce in the dirt beyond Carruthers, and Toma is going to trot down to first base. And that is going to give way to the number 2 hitter, and Sam Seidel. Seidel came into this nightcap hitting .262. It's going to help that average a little bit. He is 1 for 3 today, has walked twice, scored twice, has a hit, has struck out once.
Yeah, he's another young player for the Falcons, continues to improve as this season has unwound, and certainly going to be a mainstay as you start looking ahead to next year.
And Music's first opportunity hits the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. And again, Bowling Green trying to get that 20th win of the year. Toledo trying to finish the MAC campaign at 500. And the 0-1 offering for Music is a bit low, even to the count at 1 apiece.
Jim, we talked about the fact Bowling Green has 18 former players that have played at Major League Baseball. It probably wouldn't be fair to not mention the success that some of the Toledo Rocket players have had at the next level. In fact, just last year alone, 2 Rockets were selected in the Major League draft. Of course, Kyle Jones, who was first-team All-MAC pitcher, 7th-round pick of the Twins. And then, of course, Connor Brandon, a second-team All-MAC last season, 17th round, playing in the Mets organization. And who can forget about the first Rocket player ever named MAC Player of the Year, Chris Myers, was a 13th-round selection playing in the Tigers organization. And, those are 3 of, I think, 4 that are currently playing. I think Ross Adolph is still playing.
Ross Adolph, absolutely. He's in the Astros organization.
In fact, this year he was a spring training non-roster invitee, one of 10 outfielders currently on the Astros roster. There's a filthy pitch here.
Yeah, Sam Seidel goes down on swinging, and there's one away for BG here in the top of the 8th. And Kyle Music kicks and fires, and the first opportunity to the batter-catcher Kyle Gurney, who has been a one-man wrecking ball in this second game with 2 hits, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs, digs in, and he's behind 0-1 to Kyle Music. Music kicks and fires, and Gurney pops this one up. Here's a rainmaker dropping into foul territory in third base, and the speedy Dante DiCello calls off Marcus Struther to make the catch, and there's 2 away for BG in the top of the 8th, and that will give way to another pinch hitter who's going to make his debut in this series for Bowling Green in game number 2, Leighton Banjoff. His first pinch hit opportunity.
Yeah, the senior utility player for the Falcons getting a chance to get his name in the scorebook right here, trying to get a base knock here with 2 outs. Extend this 8th inning for the Falcons.
Leighton appearing in his 34th game this year. Music kicks and fires, and Banjo with a check swing strike. 0-1 the count.
I'm 9. I'm Banjo. I'm Banjo.
Music with his 15th pitch upcoming, checks the runner at first with 2 out in the top of the 8th. Music kicks and fires, and this one is outside. Struther with a nice stop. Holds the runner at first base.
I'm Banjo. I'm Niner. I'm Niner.
Here is Music's 1-1 offering. The righty kicks and fires, and that is inside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I'm Leighton. I'm Babe.
Righty against righty. Music against Banjoff. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It is outside. Now 3 balls and a strike.
And something we've seen all afternoon from Bowling Green. Continued patience at the plate, working the count. It's been a high pitch count day for Rocket pitching. And another 3-ball pitch coming up for the Falcons.
Anthony Toma with a big lead at first, and this one gets away from Struther, and Toma's going to trot down to second. It didn't matter. It was ball 4. And Banjoff will head down to first base. And for Banjoff, that is the 22nd time this year he has drawn a base on balls in 34 games. It's now going to give way to another young man who was checked in off the Bowling Green bench, sophomore outfitter Gavin Gannon. 6'2", 195-pounder. Out of Blissfield, Michigan, just across the border, and he looks at a first pitch inside, ball one. Played at Blissfield High School.
Yeah, again, just a sophomore again, trying to take advantage of getting some reps here. None other against their arch rival, the Rockets.
2 out, 2 on, and Gannon takes a mighty cut at that offering from Music. Evens the pitch count at 1 apiece.
Oh, nice pitch by Music. That time pulled the string a little bit, and Gannon way out in front of that.
Kyle Music on in relief as he has done admirably all season. The 1-1 offering there is a strike. About waist level, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs for BG in the top of the 8th. The Falcons flexing some muscle here in this second game of this doubleheader after Toledo threw a haymaker, 19-7 in the opener. Music kicks and fires, and that one is swung on and missed by Gannon, and Kyle Music will leave 2 Bowling Green Falcons on base behind him. We'll head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Bowling Green 14, Toledo 5 in this battle of I-75 under the night sky in downtown Toledo. You're watching BCSN.
Cause we lost it all, and that's forever. I should put it. Hope they're in. 2 ping, 2 ping. On biggies. Yeah. They're not in here anymore. They like poke their head through the barricade here. Nope.
Reliever Nick Good going to stay on the bump for Bowling Green in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And Troy Sudbrook, normal third baseman for the Midnight Blue and Gold, going to get his first pinch hit opportunity of this series. And of course, Sudbrook, the freshman out of Avon, Ohio, known for a dangerous glove at third base.
Yeah, he's got a solid glove at third base, but he also has a solid bat. We've seen that throughout the season. He started Thursday's game at Scott Park where he was 0 for 2 against Falcon pitching, looking for his first hit of the series here tonight.
And he looks for a first pitch ball from left-handed pitcher Nick Good. The Avon, Ohio native looks at a second pitch ball, 2-0. Sudbrook ahead of Nick Good. Of course, he's just a freshman. There is a lot of youth on this Toledo team that got some great experience this year. Future is bright. Good kicks and fires, and Sudbrook pops this one up near home plate. Gurney, the catcher, will collect that one, and there is one away for Toledo in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, good start for Nick Good. One more time he's able to get the freshman Sudbrook on that moonshot there to catcher Kyle Gurney, and a quick first out for the Falcons.
That'll give way to Dante DiCello. And DiCello with 2 hits today, including his 3rd home run of the year. Good kicks and fires, and the first offering to DiCello is a strike right down the pike, 0-1 the count.
And that home run a few innings back left a dent high upon that left field foul pole.
Yeah, his final home game, and that certainly had to be a big thrill. And the 0-1 offering, it gets away from catcher Nick Gurney and rolls back towards the netting behind home plate, and 1-1 the count. Lefty against righty. Good kicks and fires. The 1-1 offering is low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dante DiCello. From the Hamilton Big Blue, senior infielder. What a career he's had here at Toledo. Nick Good's 2-1 offering is swung on and missed. Evens the count at 2 apiece.
That time DiCello was swinging for the downs, but that ball fell off a table from Nick Good. He's able to even things up here at 2-2.
1 out for the Rockets in the bottom of the 8th. And this one is popped up into foul territory, but first baseman Tyler Ross over there to collect it, and quickly the Rockets have 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. The number 9 hitter, Scott Makowitz, the Millbury Lake product, coming to bat.
Makowitz has reached base all 3 times here this evening. Singled in the 2nd and 4th innings, was hit by a pitch in the 6th. And now trying to keep that consecutive on-base string alive here as he bats against Nick Good with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Good's first opportunity gets away from Gurney. 1-0 the count. You wonder if we might see a pitching change for Toledo in the top of the 9th, or if Kyle Music may remain on the hill. Nick Good doing a fine job in relief for BG. Good's 1-0 offering is swung on and missed, evens the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, I would think we're going to see a pitching change for both these teams in the 9th inning. Just the fact that both these coaches have really emptied out their rosters here this afternoon and this evening in this twilight doubleheader.
And the 1-1 offering is low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Scott Makowitz, junior outfielder. Looking at a 2-1 pitch from Nick Good, and that catches the outside corner and evens the count at 2 apiece.
That's a great-looking pitch from Good there. He's trailing Makowitz 2-1 in the count, and he throws a nice off-speed bender that just catches the outside portion of the plate to even things up at 2-2.
And here's Good's offering, and this one is low and outside, and we have a full count with 2 out. Nobody on for Toledo. The Rockets running out of chances here as they trail Bowling Green 14-5.
And Makowitz now on the payoff pitch trying to reach base for the 5th consecutive time, dating back to the last game where he singled in his last at bat.
And here's the payoff pitch from the veteran Nick Good. And it is just missed the outside corner, and that will send Scotty Makowitz down to first base, and Toledo will flip the order, and Jaron Williams will try to keep things alive in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Williams kept his hitting streak alive in the bottom of 6 just a couple innings ago. He now has hit safely in 21 consecutive games for Toledo.
Good kicks and fires, and Williams pops this one up towards second base. Underneath it to make the grab for Bowling Green State University is Seidel. Sam with the catch. We will head to the top of the 9th inning. Bowling Green with a 14-5 lead on top of Toledo in the nightcap of this doubleheader. From Fifth Third Field in downtown Toledo, you're watching BCSN.
Yeah, literally. Yep. I think it was knocked that I got, and I literally just was shooting randomly as I was running by a doorway, and I clipped him. Yep.
PSN broadcast is brought to you by PNC Bank.
The seventh pitcher utilized tonight for Coach Rob Reinstedel and the Toledo Rockets comes in the form of Matt Lolito, the 6'4", 210-pound junior out of St. John's, Indiana. Began his collegiate career at Kankakee Junior College here before coming to Toledo. And Mr. Lolito, young man, certainly a veteran of these wars and knows this Bowling Green roster very, very well. And he will dig in.
There you see the 6'4"
against Nathan
junior
Rose.
out of Adrian High School near Gary, Indiana. And he was a part of the 59ers' 2 state baseball championships while playing at Andrean High School. Also played on a state basketball championship for the 59ers. So, again, another talented multi-sport guy
athlete. Absolutely.
Here for the Rockets. And in case you're wondering, Bowling Green fans, the same high school as Dan Dockage.
Just to prove to you the show is not just thrown together, Lolito's first opportunity to Nathan Rose.
We got a cam out there.
Is a ball 1-0 the count.
It is open.
Rose with that big home run in that first game loss for Bowling Green is quickly behind. Make the count even, 1-1.
And they got my valve can.
Lolito kicks and fires, and this one is clubbed high and foul over the Toledo dugout. It's another souvenir into the upper deck here at Fifth Third Field. BG with a 14-5 lead in this nightcap. Toledo won the opener by 12, 19-7. BG trying to salvage a 4-game split with Toledo this year. Lolito kicks and fires. This one is high and outside, evens the count at 2-2.
Jim, I recently chatted with Dan Dockage just a couple weeks back, but Dan was also, everybody knows him as a player for Coach Bob Knight at IU and the basketball team, but he also played baseball for IU as well. Something I'm not sure a lot of people realize.
Of course, Dan was a very controversial radio host in Indianapolis for many, many years as well. And, of course, the one-time basketball coach at Bowling Green. And the payoff pitch, and this one is driven high into short center field. Jaron Williams says no, and this one is going to bounce in for a base hit. I think Williams may have run into some trouble in the lights trying to judge that one. It looked like he was going to be in position to make the catch and realized that may be beyond his grasp. And unfortunately, a miscommunication between him and Scott Makowitz results in a base hit for Bowling Green.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what happened. It looked like Williams was calling it all the way. In the last minute, he peeled off thinking maybe Makowitz was going to call him off. Remember, Makowitz, with that blazing speed out there, he can cover anything pretty much from the eye drop to second base. But that time looked like a ball that either one of them could have caught. Drops in.
Now Nathan Rose in with a double finds himself in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the ninth. And Bowling Green up by 9 looking for more. Lolito checks the runner. The first opportunity is inside. Marcus Struthers with a nice grab of that pitch. 1-0 the count. Fourteenth hit of the night for BG. Lolito kicks and fires, and that one chest high. Just missed the mark. 2-0 the count. Rose today, that is his first hit of the game. He also drove in a run and has struck out once today. And on the 2-0 offering, Jack Krause, the young man out of Brighton, Michigan, takes a mighty cut at that. 2-1 the count. Senior outfielder out of Brighton, Michigan. And this one is hit deep into left field, but very, very playable. And up to sneak under that is Caden Konzak. And Konzak had to come from the warning track almost halfway in through that outfield to make the catch. kept a good eye on that one from the moment he left the bat.
They did. Remember, these guys have not played a lot of games under the lights
now.
this season, either team. So great job kind of battling through it.
And there's one away for BG in the top of the ninth. Mason Montgomery, the shortstop, who's had a tremendous 2-for-4 game in this nightcap, looks at a first pitch high and outside, 1-0 the count.
Yeah, Montgomery has actually reached base 4 times here in this nightcap.
Played his
singling in the second, third inning, scoring in both those innings. He also reached on a drop third strike and also reached on a walk.
And here's a high pop fly, and that one is going to be grabbed by the center fielder for Toledo, and that is Scotty Makowitz, who got a great jump on that ball, and there's 2 away.
Yes, he got an excellent jump, a great read off the bat there, and he made sure that time there was no miscommunication whatsoever. He was screaming that thing out from the moment he took his first step on in.
And in order to keep this inning alive for Bowling Green, the honors are on the right fielder, Justin Fugit. Fuget's been active today, 1 for 5. Has an RBI, and the first opportunity for Fugit is hit a fair ball that bounces just inside the line. That is going to bring home the 15th run of the game for Bowling Green. And Nathan Rose and Fugit in with a stand-up double.
Yeah, great job by the senior. It's a game of inches. That one just a couple inches inside the chalk line there in right field. And Fugit has his second hit of this nightcap. But watch it right here. That ball just lands inside the right field line there. And a stand-up double for the senior.
And the lead is back to 10 runs for Bowling Green. And Toma will check in for his second at-bat. Toma reached base on a walk his last time up. As Matt Lolito gets the signal from Struthers. Checks the runner at second base. Lolito kicks and fires, and there is a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, great pitch by Lolito. A lot of glove side run to it. Paints that outside corner.
2 outs for BG in the top of the ninth. They've taken their lead back to 10 runs, and they're trying to get themselves a little bit more. Lolito, that offering looked like that might have been in for a strike, but just a skosh high. 2-1 the count. Lolito kicks and fires, and this one is clubbed foul. First base side behind the Bowling Green dugout, and another souvenir. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Bowling Green. They have tacked on another run here in the ninth. Of course, they did most of their damage, 12 of their 15 runs, 5 in the second and 7 in the third. And that's been more than enough today for the Falcons. After Toledo really broke out the lumber in the opener, winning by 12. BG leads by 10 here in the nightcap. Lolito kicks and fires, and this one again is fouled away. And young Mr. Anthony Toma trying to get the most juice out of this at-bat, and he's still at 2-2.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. The Falcons offensively coming in near the bottom of the MAC in a lot of offensive categories, yet they've scored in 5 of the 9 innings here in this nightcap, including those 2 crooked numbers, 5 in the second, 7 in the third.
Lolito delivers this one to Toma, who rips a base hit right beyond the reach of Sykes, and that is going to drive in Bowling Green's 16th run of the year as the wheels of Nathan Rose will trot across home plate. And that is Nathan's second run scored of the game, and it is now a 16-5 Bowling Green lead.
Oh, a great at bat. Look at the hole there in the right side. Yep. And Sykes does all he can to try to keep that in the infield. Got on his belly, but that's a CNI single, the 16th hit of this nightcap for the Falcons. They've now have matched that with 16 runs.
Sam Seidel trying to keep it alive for BG with 2 out and a man on, and the first opportunity gets away from Struther, but he's very quick to pounce on that. 1-0 the count. Bowling Green was 16 runs on 16 hits. They committed 2 errors. Toledo 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. But again, Tyler Ross with a grand slam in the second. Nathan Archer with a 3-run shot in the third. Did all the damage that Bowling Green needed in this nightcap after Toledo hit 7 home runs in game 1.
Yeah, just impressive how the Falcons have really started out both these games. You know, in the first game this afternoon, they put up 4 big runs in the first inning. Were able to tack on another in the second. Then how about the start here in game 2, scoring a combined 13 runs in the first 3 innings.
Absolutely. That third inning, they were at bat for half an hour. Toledo digs in against Seidel. The 1-0 offering is hit just beyond the grasp of Mason Sykes, and Bowling Green is going to have runners at the corners. Sam Seidel gets his second hit of the game. He also has 2 runs to his credit. Walked twice and struck out twice.
And again, you have to love the approach here from Sam Seidel and the Falcons. In fact, they continue to put the ball in play. And this ball jumped off the bat in a hurry before Mason Sykes could react. That ball is past him into right field, and Garrett Pike can only pick it up and throw it in.
And both of those runs by Bowling Green here in the top of the 9th again have come with 2 out.
Well, that's been a common theme here in game 2 of this doubleheader. 2 out runs have really mounted for the Falcons.
Catcher Kyle Gurney swings at a first pitch from Matt Lolito. 0-1 the count.
Remember, Bowling Green started scoring in game 2 after the first 2 batters were retired via strikeouts.
By R.J. Shunk, absolutely.
They're able to push across the run by Kyle Gurney with 2 outs, and it's been more or less the same ever since.
Gurney fouls this one away, and quickly he is behind 0-2 to Matt Lolito.
Kyle.
Runners in the corners with 2 men out on the top of the 9th for BG. So they're trying to pour it on to Toledo and even up this doubleheader. Toledo kicks and fires, and that one gets away from Struther. As a matter of fact, it was Kyle Gurney who had to duck and get out of the way of the pitch. It was high and inside.
That took a Super Bowl bounce off the backstops that rolled all the way out toward the pitcher's mound. But Gurney right now looking for his 5th hit of the day. He had 2 hits in game 1 earlier this afternoon. He has 2 hits in this nightcap. Trying to close out an impressive day here for the senior.
And Matt Lolito's 1-2 offering is popped up foul. This is headed right towards Scoop Miller. And we'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes against catcher Kyle Gurney, who behind the plate has played phenomenally today for Bowling Green. He's got runners on the corners with 2 men out. Gurney's already driven in 2. He's looking to add to that total. And the 1-2 offering is a ball. Evens the count at 2 apiece.
You know, they say good hitters hit good pitches, and Gurney's been that guy that's been able to lay off those pitches just out of the zone.
Lolito getting the signal from catcher Marcus Struther. Lolito kicks and fires. The 2-2 offering just misses the outside corner.
Yeah, that's a great hold right there. What a tremendous pitch by Lolito. That was a fastball, maybe just an inch off the plate. But Gurney, being a catcher, knows that zone so well. He's able to work the count even here at 2-2.
And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Matt Lolito leaves 2 Bowling Green Falcons on base. And we will head to the bottom of the 9th. The Bowling Green State University Falcons 16, your Toledo Rockets 5. Last chance for the Midnight Blue and Gold. Coming up after this from Fifth Third Field on BCSN. And a young man from Bowling Green State University there, very high on, is going to make his first appearance today. Freshman Jacob Turner, 5'11", 185 pounds, out of St. Clair, Michigan. Right-hander trying to seal the deal today for BG and earn a split in this doubleheader.
Yeah, for Turner, he's had 14 appearances out of the bullpen this year for the Falcons. Has an ERA of 5.40. He's gone 16 2/3 innings, given up just 14 hits. He has 12 strikeouts, 18 walks. Opponents hitting just 241 off of Turner. And Turner was a highly touted right-handed pitcher, ranked number 9 by Prep Baseball Report coming out of the class of 22 in Michigan. He's on to seal the deal here for the Falcons, trying to win their 5th MAC series of the season. More importantly for Falcon faithful, against their arch rival, the Toledo Rockets.
Backup catcher Brant Hunt swings at a 1-0 offering and evens the count at 1 apiece. Hunt, 6 foot, 190-pound junior out of Henderson, Nevada. Played at Silverado High School, and Hunt ropes one into left field, but a sliding catch is made out in left field by Adam Fallon.
That's going to be Gavin.
Pardon me.
Gainan. You came in as a pinch hitter
Gavin
a couple
Gannon.
innings ago.
Not Adam Fallon, my
watch
apologies.
it right here. Very nice catch there. That's one of those in-betweeners. If you pull up short, it's going to be easy hit. You dive and miss, it's going to be extra bases, but a fantastic catch here.
Garrett Pike looks at a first pitch strike from Turner. 0-1 the count. Garrett, 2 runs, 1 hit, 3 at-bats today. And very quickly, he's behind 0-2 to Jacob Turner. 1 out for the Rockets, their last chance in the bottom of the 9th. Trailing Bowling Green 16-5. Turner kicks and fires, and that one is high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Pike recently had a 22-game consecutive on-base string ended in Game 1 of this series on Thursday night at Scott Park.
Alan Pike gets a hold of this one, but this one is going to stretch foul towards the Swamp Shop, out of play. 1-2 the count.
In case you're wondering when that on-base streak ended, he actually reached base on an error in the 9th inning, but that does not count as far as your on-base streak is concerned. It has to be reaching safely. But boy, he's been a tough out in his 2 years with Toledo. And he's got great power hitting from that left side.
Here's the 2-2 offering, and this one is clubbed foul out of play as it will find the nets there on the third base line, and the count remains 2-2. Rockets down to their final 2 outs of the season. If you were with us in Game 1, it was all Toledo, 19-7, 7 different home runs for the Rockets. 3 of them from Jaron Williams, but the nightcap has been all BG. Turner kicks and fires the 2-2 offering low and outside, and the count is full.
Well, Bowling Green has certainly made the most of their home runs here this evening with the grand slam and, of course, the 3-run homer early in this contest.
And as you and I had talked about, they came into this doubleheader today with only 42 home runs near the bottom of the league.
Yeah, and again, they came into this series with just 39. They got 3 of those home runs at Scott Park on Thursday. The Rockets were held scoreless.
Pike pops this one into short center field. And playable for BG. It's Nathan Archer making the grab. Or excuse me, that is Kraus making the grab on in relief of Nathan Archer. And Toledo is down to their final out. And that is going to be none other than Mason Sykes. Sykes with 2 hits and 4 at-bats today is driven in 2. He digs in against freshman Jacob Turner, who was on in relief, the 6th different pitcher for BG today. First opportunity, and this one is driven a deep left field. Doesn't have enough gas to get out of here. It will. Off the top of the fence, and Mason Sykes came about 6 inches away from a solo home run as that one careened off the mesh fencing right above the welcome to Fifth Third field sign, and he has a stand-up double.
Yeah, that ball was crushed. I think early in the day that ball's going to carry out, but it did hit right off the top of the fence there, stays in play. But another extra base hit for Mason Sykes. More than likely the last of his career in a Rocket uniform, but wow.
Absolutely amazing. 3 hits today and 5 at-bats for Mason Sykes.
How fun has it been to watch that young man compete on a daily basis here for the Rockets over the course of his career.
And backup catcher Marcus Strother. And Sykes will come out of the game as a pinch runner will come in, and Wesley Parker, the freshman out of suburban Pittsburgh. And Sykes gets a nice round of applause from his teammates and going to get some hugs from his teammates. What a career this young man's had.
Yeah, he really has. What a great gesture there by Coach Rob Reinstead as well, getting him out of the game. A nice ovation from all his teammates and fans, and why not? He's been responsible for a lot of wins for this Rocket program over the years. Remember last year, they had a third best ever 33-win season under Coach Rob Reinstedt. They also had that monster 12-game winning streak at one point during the season, and really played some great baseball, making their way into the MAC tournament as the number 3 seed last year, before being double dipped by Central Michigan after knocking out OU in that 4-team MAC tournament.
Oh, Marcus Strother looks at a first pitch ball. Turner kicks and fires the 1-0 offering, which Strother fouls towards the first base side. 1-1 the count. And you're right, the young man from Chicago has definitely left his mark, not only currently, but all time amongst some of the greats that have ever played here.
Yeah, he's been a tremendous worker for the Rockets, and a guy that's really done it in all phases. He's been a good glove out there. He's played multiple positions, and of course, the all-time leading home run hitter. And just a few inches from tacking one more on there before having to settle for a 9th-inning double.
And Strother whiffs on a 1-1 offering, and the count is 1-2. And freshman Jacob Turner trying to close the door on this one. It would give Bowling Green their 20th win of the year and their 13th win in conference play if Turner can seal the deal. But a runner on second, that in the form of Wesley Parker. And the 1-2 offering is in the dirt. Now 2-2 the count. Strother out of Kelowna, British Columbia. Bowling Green was 16, Toledo with 5. Rockets won the opener by 12. Bowling Green tried to win the nightcap by 11. And the 2-2 offering from Turner is swung on and missed, and that'll do it. And Bowling Green wins the nightcap here at Fifth Third Field, and they gain a split in the season series with Toledo and a split in today's doubleheader at Fifth Third Field. Our final score, the Bowling Green State University Falcons 16, your Toledo Rockets 5. And really, 2 long balls by Bowling Green did all the damage. Tyler Ross with a grand slam in the second. And then Nathan Archer with that 3-run shot in the third, and that was all Bowling Green needed.
That really was. They got strong defense, solid pitching, and again, what can you say about that offense that racked out 29 hits here in this doubleheader, highlighted by the 16-5 win here against Toledo to take 2 out of 3 in MAC play, 2 out of 4 overall in the series. But Bowling Green really finished this season on a high note as they win 4 of their last 6 contests. More importantly, 2 against Toledo. And Bowling Green joins 8 other teams in the MAC to record at least 20 wins on the season.
Well, Toledo will end their season with a record of 25-29, 13-16 in MAC play. Bowling Green gets their 20th win of the year. Scoop had mentioned against 29 defeats. They will finish 13-16 in Mid-American Conference play. Well, my friend, I've enjoyed the heck out of it. It is a pleasure to know your acquaintance and work some baseball with you. And Lord knows, let's do it again next spring.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun here on BCSN. We've got to see some great college baseballs. And, of course, nothing better than seeing the Battle of I-75 as these 2 teams want these games awfully badly. And what a great atmosphere here at Fifth Third Field. We'll have to do this again. But Bowling Green is going to go out on top as they knock off the Rockets 16-5 here to take 2 out of 3 in the MAC series this season.
For Jake Worst, Pete Seymour, Noah Laughlin, RJ Lingor, Scott Flowers, and our executive director, Dominic Jerome. For Scoop Miller, my name is Jim Heller. Our final score, Bowling Green 16, Toledo 5. You've been enjoying Mid-American Conference Baseball tonight right here on your local leader in sports. This is BCSN. Good night from Fifth Third Field.